What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. You are tuned in to the Sub-Saharan African Championship. My name is Gara. I'm going to be your host for today, and joined by my side is the legend himself, Trout. How you doing, Trout?
I'm doing all right. I wouldn't quite say legend. I think the status actually has to be going over towards your podium. But thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited. But just before we get into that, there was something that I heard a bit of a rumor going about, and I have to greet us as our duo known as Scrout. So from here on forth, we will be known as Scrout, and I love it, and that's just the way of the road.
You know what? It's just going to stick at this point, but can't fight it. That's just good. That's just how it is now. So welcome everyone to the stream. This is the first ever COD Mobile broadcast from the side of ACGL. This tournament is brought to you by Activision as well as Carry First. They are the ones that made this event possible. It is an invitational, and we have 8 teams that were invited all across sub-Saharan Africa. These teams are some of the best that we have to offer. That is going to be Cyclone Gaming, Zero Remorse, Incognito, Rage Esports, Valencius Esports, EG Destroyers, NATO Gaming, and the team that recently won an invitational LAN, Cast Esports. So I'm really excited for this one because I see the side of Cast Esports are looking extremely good though so far. I mean, they took on the side of Valencius as well on LAN. They toppled them, and I feel coming into this, they have a lot of momentum because coming off of a win where you haven't had a LAN at all. Like, that was the first ever LAN that was held for COD, the title of COD Mobile in Sub-Saharan Africa, and they walked away with the win. So I feel, I'm not too sure about you, but I feel like with that at the back of your mind, you have to be coming into this with a lot of momentum.
I mean, I can't agree more. I don't really know much about the COD Mobile scene. I'm a little bit more attuned to the actual full game release than most recent one being Modern Warfare 2, obviously. But yeah, gathering what you said and a little bit of research before this, Cast Esports is the team to beat. And I mean, winning on LAN, in terms of a mental fortitude that brings, it's almost unmatched, right? Because then you've really got the bragging rights, because it's there, the crowd's behind you, everyone's like hyped up, and you take that win, and then you walk away with it. You can say, I've beaten you, where the odds are as even as possible, where there's no connection issues. So I mean, that's pretty much a crown that you can wear quite high, and I think that's going to be a pretty big crown that everyone's after going towards the end of this season, obviously.
Indeed, yeah, and as you mentioned that crown, I think you could best take us through this. This is our prize pool breakdown for this event.
Well, if anyone is quicker than Master and I, you probably already worked out what the grand total is, which is 11,000 Rand, broken up into first being 5K, second 3, third 2, and fourth is going to be $1,000. But I mean, in relative terms, top 4, and this is a top 8 invitational, the top half of the bracket is going to be walking away with a little bit of cash, even though it is not an exorbitant amount if you place fourth. But I mean, that's still something to line your pockets, if you know what I mean.
Indeed, but just to correct you there, it's not fourth place. It's rather the MVP of the tournament will actually be receiving 1,000 Rand. So I'm sure a lot of these players are going to be gunning for that 1,000 Rand. I mean, if you don't really get any prize pool winnings, or you do get prize pool winnings, I'm sure, a small 1K in your back pocket wouldn't hurt. So I'm sure a lot of these players are going to try and show out just to win that bonus. But this is what our bracket is looking like thus far. And our first game of the day will be Cast Esports versus Rage Esports. And I'm quite excited to see this because I really love to see Cast Esports in action. They are a team that is extremely dominant. They have such talented players. And I just feel that we might have a really good game in store for us in this game number 1.
Oh, absolutely. And going forwards, the best of 5 gamers, as you can see there, the gamers are going to be Hardpoint, S&D, Control, Hardpoint, and end things off with an S&D if we run the distance. And that's something I feel like I can talk a little bit about because I know it well in standard COD, and I'm very excited to see how it plays out in mobile. Yeah. And before the stream, I didn't really know much about it, but I've been told that these players are just as cracked as the controller or mouse and keyboard players. So I'm curious to see the movement, how the spawns play out, how control specifically is actually going to play out, and how teams will be holding, breaking hills, setups around bomb sites. Man, I'm just excited, and thank you very much for having me, man. Again, I can't bring enough enthusiasm to it. It's going to be a good time.
You know what? I really love that enthusiasm because it just radiates my sort of hype and energy that is building up inside of me because I just really love watching COD Mobile. I didn't really think it would get to this point where COD Mobile will become a title that I actively want to watch or just actively want to cast over. But you know, once you actually just watch how talented these players are or how they actually play in game, it's actually mind-boggling with how talented they are. And I mean, we're just going to see a showcase of that. You know, Cast Esports, I haven't really seen Rage Esports, so I can't really talk too much about them. But they're going to be one of the teams that, you know, you want to see them. You want to see how they play or how things are going to turn out. And as I say that, we're dropping into our first game of the day, which is going to be Hardpoint on the map of Raid.
I love that. Okay, classic map, classic game mode. Curious to see how this goes off. Nice bit of shots going off first. Long shot to start things out. 3 go down for the side of Rage Esports. Not the kind of start that you want to see. So into the point we go with Cast just completely set up. And they get a bit of a split spawn coming out. And if the spawns rotate, if the rotations of hills are the same as regular, that is exactly where you want to be if you're on the shoes of Cast Esports right now.
Yeah, it seems now the side of Cast Esports are going to have the upper hand now. It seems that they have claimed the point already, and now the points are just ticking up for their side. So this is a good start for them. I mean, this is how they really want to start. They want to start off as dominant as possible, and it does seem now that the side of Rage Esports also get onto the board now, and it seems they are going to be contesting the point now. But we'll have to see if they are able to topple them at the moment. It does seem like they are sort of holding the fortress down, but the side of Rage Esports are going to be relentless towards this. They are not going to roll over and die. It seems they're going to fight for this, and it seems now they're starting to catch up as well. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a whitewash.
Absolutely not. And for anyone who's a little bit new to this, if you're looking over your mini-map, exactly what Rage Esports did there was almost the perfect rotation as they managed to flip out the spawns, get a split spawn in, and into the point they go. And as you can see where the yellow and the blue people are spawning in terms of one another is a bit of a parallel spawn now. So if you have your head turned on correctly, you can get it set up here and just continuously keep them away from the point. And that is exactly what's happening. Look, the entire side of Rage Esports pretty much centimeters from the hill now whenever they die, and they're just keeping it going. So now they've just taken the lead, and they're going to get a bit of a setup, and everyone from the side of Cast is just funneling through the front. And Hardpoint 101, you don't want to be doing that, as you're just going to keep getting punished.
Yep, indeed, and it just seems like Tipsy is just farming away at anyone that comes through, but it does seem now that Shaz slides in and does take down Tipsy, and they will get entry into the point now. Now they'll try and see if they can get some points back onto the board, and it does seem like now they are going to try and push back on the side of Rage, as Rage did get an upper hand in this match now, but let's see if they are able to turn the tide. It does seem that now Cast Esports are sort of struggling a bit to get onto the point. It does seem like the side of Rage have been holding their ground extremely well, but we'll have to see now as the rotations are coming in. We do see that next checkpoint has been revealed, so let's see if we will be seeing a rotation coming out from the teams. It doesn't seem like we'll be seeing that just yet. They will try to hold down the fort now, and now we're here with Tiana. Let's see what Tiana can pull out. Unfortunately, nothing, as the side of Rage are just going to be so relentless and just going to be that thorn in the side of Cast Esports.
I couldn't agree more. I see the spawns here are just working out every time for Rage Esports. They're holding them off at every single push. Even with the rotation there, I will admit they were a little bit slow to the fray on this point, but it doesn't matter. They managed to bully their way on through, and they're keeping it as closely contested as possible, as they have a 50-point lead or so. And to break into this hill, if you've got these close spawns, is pretty much impossible. And this is exactly what you want to do. They've got the spawns, they've got the majority of time, and they're pushing out, getting set up for the next hill. Number one, Panda already there, waiting for these rotational kills. Man, it feels like I'm watching normal Call of Duty. I'm actually in shock. Chaining together hills is exactly what you want to do. And look at this kill. If he gets that, that could be another one. I believe that's 7 in a row for him. Potential streaks in the works as well, as he is almost... Ooh, Tiano with a little bit of movement, taking him out and securing the point, at least the first bit of the rotation for the side of Cast here.
But yeah, honestly, you just mentioned it. It just seems that the side of Rage are just so well oiled, just right off the get-go. They have such a good setup, and it just seems like their setup has just really restricted the opportunity for the side of Cast Esports to make it onto point. And anytime they have made it on, they've just been taken out. And as I say that, Tipsy with the 1-2 shots, getting a double kill there. Can he get a third? Yes, he can. That's going to be a 6 in a row. Tipsy is going on an absolute tear right now.
Damn, I didn't even know that there were specialists in this, so that is a huge piece of utility that I failed to mention, and that's exactly what you use that kind of thing for, to either hold a hill or break a hill, and he held the hill, has full streaks, so on the rotation, they are looking so pretty. Rage Esports, 120 to 35, as we're going to our last hill in this rotation, with 20 seconds left here. They'll be seeing one more push from Cast, and if they can't break it, you got to chalk it up, get to the next hill.
Yeah, indeed. It doesn't seem like they're gonna get onto this point now. It does seem like the side of Rage have just really held their ground on this point now. So it does seem like the side of Cost maybe have to go next and just trying to see if they can farm up the next point. But it doesn't seem like the side of Rage are going to let that go. They're not going to let them get onto this point. They're going to be relentless. And the side of Cost Esports now are going to struggle as Blurry was taken down. And that does allow for them entry onto that side. And you do see a stare down now with Tiano with the player across him. Is he able to finish him? Doesn't seem like he will be able to. Shots will be flying. Unfortunately, won't be able to connect. Let's see if there will be a trade. And Tiano is the one that's going to go down now. And now we will be seeing that rotation coming through from the teams. We're here with Vector. Vector is going to be on the point, trying to protect it as best as he can. Some nades are going to be flung in. Let's see if they are going to be able to survive this onslaught of nades that are just being flung onto the point. It does seem like they will be able to hold out. And 168 to 35. This is looking like a whitewash for the side of Rage Esports.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. This has been perfect HP from the start. They lost 35 seconds, and every single bit of time since then has gone their way. Even now, they're first on the rotation, and they're holding scraps. As we go to our second set of rotations now, like you said, 150-point lead. You do not want to be in the shoes of Cast Esports at the moment, and they just keep on getting spawn killed. They can't even get close enough to the hill where they can start to formulate a bit of a push. As of right now, you can see how the setup is beginning to form. They're just watching every single angle. Streaks being used. It doesn't matter. There's just nothing. There isn't an answer for Rage Esports. They are just completely taking over this map.
Indeed, and now we will see now they are edging closer and closer toward that 200 mark and only 50 points away from claiming game number 1. Let's see if they are able to close this one out. They are going to be on the point now. They're going to try and hold it for as long as possible to try and secure this one and close it out. And we might possibly be seeing a 200 club, which is not something I has expected. Flamethrower is going to pull out from the side of Tiano. Tiano is going to take that player down. And finally, the side of Cast Esports have claimed the point. Let's see how long they are able to hold out on this one. It does seem like they are going to be taken down though, as left, right, and center, everyone in the Cast side are just falling down. And now it seems Vector will claim the point now. Tiano tries to pull up. Unfortunately, he's going to get taken down. Will get traded out though. Blurry is going to claim the point now. Let's see if the side of Rage are going to be able to close this one out. And now seems like we won't be seeing that 200 club, but let's see what does come up from the side of Cast Esports if they are able to make that comeback.
I mean, this would be the comeback of ages, but as you can see, Tiano pretty much the only one trying to hold the torch for Cast Esports. And I'm going to be honest with you, just from a sort of a play position, what the side of Cast Esports is doing incorrectly here is they're really trying to solo push the hill, and you can see that when they used all of the utility. Like now, a little bit of another bit of specialist being used, but it's not going to help them out very much as they can't get anyone in the point. As everyone just trying to break the hill on their own, it'll never work because you have to trade 3, 4, 5 people, and in the 5v5 game mode, there is always that 5th player who will try to pick up the hill at the last second. And as I say that, I eat my words. It seems that they managed to get a little bit of a team push together and they break into the point. But if you're in the shoes of Rage Esports, you don't even have to worry about this. You need 18 seconds. You could just pepper this hill as best you can, maybe even break it at the last second. But if I was in their shoes, I'd rotate, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. As you can see, number 3, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, is already set up on the next hill, and they'll be looking to close it out here.
Yeah, it does seem like the side of Rage are going to be making a rotation. Inda is just going to be holding the site now. Let's see if he is able to close out for his team now. It does seem like the side of Cast Esports is going to make entry now. Tiana going to get taken down. Shots going to fly towards Spyro. Spyro is going to survive that onslaught, and now they will claim the point. Let's see if the comeback is going to be possible for the side of Cast Esports. Now, Tipsy going to get taken down as he tries that entry, and does seem like Spyro now is going to hold down the fort for the side of Cast Esports. Now, we will see an entry come towards them, but a beautiful shot comes from Iris. Unfortunately, isn't able to connect on the second one, but they do know that he is holding that door now, so they will try with that nade. The smoke comes out now, and now they will try to make that entry onto the point. All they need is 2 more seconds on the point, and that is what is going to happen as the side of Rage Esports take round number 1, and that's going to be 1-0 for the side of Rage.
I mean, that was a very, very dominant performance from the side of Rage Esports there. And I think what it came down to is a bunch of fundamentals. Just in terms of manipulating the spawn, I just saw Rage Esports doing it every time correctly. They managed to flip out to get the correct spawns every time. And if they didn't, there was one rotation, and I think it was the 3rd hill in the first set of rotations, where they didn't get there first, but they managed to bully their way on through, then get set up. And what's important about that, as you can see, where Cast managed to pick up a little bit of time was when they got a setup. And that was everything from absolute frantic utility usage. So that was specialists, nades, you name it. They just tried everything they could to keep the side of Rage Esports away, but they couldn't do it at the last second. No matter what they did, there was I forget the name of the sixth shooter that is so powerful. I think the Annihilator. The Annihilator being pulled out, it didn't mean a thing because the smoke was in there, cut out the line of sight, and Rage Esports just simply bullied their way through, got the points. 250, 267. I mean, in terms of standard card, like we see over at MW2 and all the previous ones, that's called a 100-point club, and it's pretty embarrassing, especially if you want to land. That is not the start you want from the side of Cast.
Not a start indeed. I mean, we did not expect a 100-point club coming out from the side of Rage Esports on Cast Esports, and I think you pointed out earlier, it's just that you felt there was sort of a sense of individuality in the team. There wasn't really any unison whatsoever. They weren't pushing as a team. They didn't have a proper setup going into the sides. I mean, at some point, you even mentioned it. They were all just going in a line onto that point and just got absolutely farmed. So I think it's just that there wasn't really like a proper game strategy or proper setup as they were trying to make entry into that point, because it seemed like the side of Rage Esports, they always had the upper hand. They made that early rotation, they got onto point, and once they got onto point, it just seemed difficult for the side of Cast Esports to try and make it onto point. So I think maybe going now into our next map, S&D, obviously it's a whole different dynamic, but I need to see a lot more teamwork coming out of it. Otherwise, we might just see another whitewash.
Well, I was actually going to touch on that specifically about S&D. Where it differs a little bit from a standard 4v4. Oh, that's two things. 5v5 and 4v4 are two different game modes, especially here in mobile, because it is 5v5. But the S&D is first to 7 here, as far as I understand. And in normal COD, teamwork in S&D is more important than anything. And that comes down to in-game leadership, whether or not how their comms are doing. They get concise call-outs and being able to make an in-game decision, whereas they have control of a site. If they realize they can't attack it correctly, they rotate over to the second one. That is going to be so key going forwards. And at the way that Cast is currently playing, it seems like they're trying to put all their pressure over to Tiano. He's one of the few players that I do know. And when he goes off, it's spectacular to watch, but he can't do it all. So you need the whole team to be firing together. Otherwise, you're going to get punished. And S&D, if we see a 7-0 or even a 6-1 or anything along those lines, it's simply because teamwork wasn't there. The trades weren't effective. And I don't know. I'm just curious to see how this plays out with a team that's struggling as well at the level that Cast is trying to break open a point with one player. I just think that fundamentally that you got to go back to the drawing board.
Indeed, and now we are loading into our next map. Now it is going to be Raid. So we do have Raid that is going to be from round 1, 2, and 3 for HP, S&D, as well as Control. So expect to be seeing this a lot more tonight. But that is going to be the beginning of the round. Now we're here with the side of Cast. Now Cast, let's see how they do play this one out. We're here with Tiano. Tiano, they seem like they're going to play it slow. Just going to try and see if they can spot anyone out. Doesn't seem like they want to be too frantic about this, but Tiano, they're just going to push back, doesn't want to push ahead too far. Does seem like they're going to try and hold the fort down, try to keep out the side of Cast Esports, but it does seem like there might be an entry made as the smoke does go down, and Shaz is going to make that entry. We will see an entry now coming from the side of Shaz. Tiano going to be hucking down behind this truck, and unfortunately, it does seem like Shaz will go down. Tiano now makes the entry onto the point, onto the side rather. It does take one down, will unfortunately not be able to get the second one, but is going to get traded out, and that is going to be now 3-2 to the side of Cast Esports. Is going to be left down to the last two players rather on the side of Cast Esports to clutch this one out. Bomb does go down. Let's see if they're able to play this post plant.
It is actually a 2 versus 1 at the moment. It was a 2 versus 2, but there was a nice bit of a pinch set up by Rage Esports there, enough to deny the plant, which is exactly what we're trying to do. Whoa, my word! Apathy with a little bit of a quick scope onto, I couldn't quite see who the last player was, but it doesn't matter. It came down to a bit of chaos towards the end of that round, from halfway through the round, and I like the bit of utility usage to block a line of sight, get onto the point, try to get that bomb down. And unable to do that was Cast Esports, and I'm curious to see whether or not Rage will be able to do that as they're looking through the mid-map aggressively to see if they can find something. Oh, it's not every round you swap. How many rounds before you change sides? Do you know?
So it'll be around three rounds, and then they swap.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, regardless, nice little bit of an entry there from the side of Cast Esports as Apathy goes down. 4-on-3 retake now, never mind. Make it a 2-on-4 retake as the trades have been effective. But if you look in the shoes of Mr. Ida, I'm presuming that's how I said number 3, he's managed to get a bit of a pinch coming through. He might be able to find one as Panda finds another on the other end, but he has slipped the net. Will he be able to find more than one kill? The answer is Well, he finds the first, at least, yeah. So it's a 2 versus 2, making it 1 versus 2. The trades are not quite efficient, but of course, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Panda. He sees Mr. Spyro? Yeah, Spyro gets the shots in, but 16 seconds. He has to just stay alive for as long as possible, but unable to do so as Iris is there with quick scope and trades it out as we have a 1-1 in rounds going into round number 3.
It does seem like the side of Rage actually might have thrown that one, because it did seem like one of the players did have a good entry onto site. Unfortunately, the shots didn't connect in time for him to adjust to the second player that did rush him. But I mean, it's just micro mistakes that do happen that do lose you these rounds. But let's see if they are able to play it out a lot better into this next round now. We do see the side of Cast Esports are actually looking a lot more aggressive now in these rounds. And Vector as well is going to be aggressive on his right, going to push through and try to see if he can spot any players out. Spyro is on the other side. Does spot out 2 players, does take down Tiano, but he's going to get traded out by the side of Blurry. Now there's going to be left to a 4v3 situation for the side of Cast Esports.
Well, I think for Rage there, for Rage Esports, that was exactly what you need to do. You get that information, even if you get traded out. If you have enough information to give a call out that you know where at least 1 or 2 of the players are, that's your job done. He pushed on up, and you can see Tipsy already set up in the position to wait for a rotational kill, as he's just quietly waiting for audio cues, you name it. He's just trying to see what anything happens. But in the haste of predicting an A plant, they weren't able to make the read as the bomb made its way over to B, and now it is down. So 4-3 retake, a bit of a tough one for the side of Feel. Well, I was going to say for the side of Feel the Rage, but Apathy simply just bullies his way in, and it's a 2 versus 4 currently.
Yeah, but it does seem that the side of Rage do play their retakes really well. It's just all about connecting on those shots and just finishing out those kills as quick as possible. And now we see here Blurry, unfortunately, isn't able to connect all of his shots now. We'll just get markers, but we'll get a player down. But unfortunately, now that is going to be all of them. And all they need to do is defuse, and that is going to be a round for the side of Rage Esports to make it 2-1.
And if I understand correctly, there will be a change in offense and defense. And I think what that round came down to the end, there was trades, right? That first blood, and they immediately went up by 2 lives. You just couldn't trade effectively from the side of Cast Esports. You managed to get the bomb down, but if you can't stay alive long enough to help you to deny the defuse, you're just going to get bled. And then eventually it came down to a 1-on-2. And even if you got that 1 kill, the trade was there. The defuse would have come through. So excellent retake from the side of Rage Esports.
Yeah, it's just been beautiful gameplay. And I think the side of Rage is just really... I think what contributes to their success is just how well they've played together. I mean, even when they haven't had sites and they've needed to make that retake, they've really done it in a way that they're working well as a team. They're pushing to site in a way that if one gets taken down, the other is there for a trade. And obviously, as we've mentioned, teamwork is the vital part of S&D. And if it's not there, you're not going to win these rounds. So I just think the side of Rage have just been playing this so well in that they've just been operating together as a well-oiled team.
Well, a well-oiled team indeed, as not a single one of their players fall in round number 4 as they take the 3rd round. I don't know. I think that it is just... They are playing more coordinated, and they are not playing into the hands of Cast Esports exactly how Cast Esports is playing to the strengths of Rage. They're being a little bit disjointed. They're not able to get those first picks, and they're being punished for it. That's exactly what's happening here. The first blood comes through, everyone starts to panic, then they start to push away from one another, and then they get picked off one at a time. Exactly, the first blood started once again for Rage Esports Vector, finding Mr. Blurry.
Yeah, and again, it just seems like there's so much disjoint in the team. As we've seen now, 2 people are on site and 2 people aren't even on site yet. Spyro does at least get the trade, and Tiana will arrive on site now. As shots will fly, and Inda does take down one of the players. It's going to be left to a 2v3 situation. Bomb has not gone down yet. Let's see what does come out from them. Spyro will go down. It's going to be left to Tiana in a 1v2 situation. Let's see what does come out from his side. Bomb still has not gone down yet, so it is going to be sitting on site. So Tiana does have to make it all the way onto site before he can get this one, but unfortunately he will not be allowed to, as that is going to be yet another round for the side of Rage Esports.
Esports, they're just unmatched, right? They have not dropped the ball. They've continued the momentum from the HP, and they're just keeping it going. And again, it came down to the set of trades, and you exactly what Rage Esports is doing well against Cast is they're putting Cast on an island. Every single player that seems to be making a play for Cast is actually is in the process of isolating themselves, and they get punished for it. So now it seems like straight over to B we go once more. And will the first bloods go their way? I believe it's going to be Blurry versus Tiano. Not Tiano, Tipsy, but Tipsy gets a trade in there, so it's all of a sudden going to be a 3 versus 4. Finally, a little bit of advantage for the side of Cost Esports. They have full control of the site. They can get it down, but they are opting to look for the kills. That's interesting.
I don't know if that's the play, man, but yet again, I think Rage has just really been good on their retakes, but I don't think that's going to be the play. I don't think you want to be separating from each other and trying to get onto trying to go for kills. Just get that bomb down, secure the site, and just try and play that out. But we'll have to see what does come out from them now, as I don't know if bomb has gone down yet.
It is down. It's down. They managed to plant it in the interim there, but Inda in the back trying to get a quick pick there, but 13 seconds, he's going to get taken out. So Spyra and Iris go back to back, finding all of the players of Rage Esports. And when you get the first blood, get that bomb down in the setup, it is very difficult for the retake because they had the life advantage. So the time that they get the first blood and then get the bomb down is the round that they win. They just need to find that kind of momentum, as it feels now. There's been 6 rounds of S&D, and they've only found 2 of them, because every other time they're getting denied right off the bat.
And I think you touched on it. It's just the whole idea of them, just sort of separating as soon as that first blood came through, because it just seems like they sort of got a bit frantic or a bit scared. Once that first blood came out, they didn't have the advantage. A lot of them started spreading out a bit too much, and it just got picked off one by one. As you mentioned that now, Blurry goes down, and it's going to be put down to a 4v3 situation now. But now it does seem like actually the side of Cost Esports do have the advantage, and now Blurry will get a kill just to put it into a 4v1 situation. Now is this left to Inda on site? Is he able to clutch it out? Unfortunately not, and that'll be a point for the side of Cost Esports. And now it does seem that Cost Esports starting to wake up a bit now.
Absolutely. They're coming back in these defensive rounds, as once that bomb was down, they just set up like a big net around them. And again, it was Cost that found that first blood. And I think that is so key in terms of S&D. You often see I'm not going to say normal COD because I feel like that'll offend some people. On console COD or PC COD, what people do is they find that first pick and then play towards their strength. So if they find a pick over at A, they get the bomb down at A, or vice versa. And as you can see here, Utility and the kitchen sink being thrown over towards A, as the entire side of Rage Esports just flying towards the bomb, and it's not working out for them. Aspira finds a quick 2-piece, and what was looking like a promising push has been pretty much trumped by Cost Esports.
Indeed, and now they are going to be put in a 5v3 situation. We will see a push down. Inda is going to punish one, but unfortunately, they're all going to be traded out, and that is going to be a quick round for the side of Cost Esports to make it 4-4. And it's quite looking like an interesting one. I really thought that we might have been seeing a clean one from the side of Rage, but it does seem like they're looking extremely good on the side of defense, Cost Esports.
Absolutely. I think that we could be seeing the fact that this might be a defense-based game mode here, as the first set of trades go through. Apathy finds Iris, Iris finds Tipsy. Probably not in that order, seeing as that doesn't seem quite possible. Regardless, it is a 4-on-4, so pretty much an even trade, as the bomb is trying to work its way over towards B. But as you can see, one of the players, that's going to be Shaz, who's going to be the one to be the thorn in the side of Rage Esports. He finds one, but he can't find the second. Apathy and Vector go back-to-back, making it a 1 versus 3, and the bomb should certainly go down, as it is left up to Mr. Tiano to make this clutch.
Indeed, Apathy is extremely low. Try to get bomb down. He's going to get taken down. That's going to be bomb dropped on site. And now Tiana is going to be put in that 2v1 situation. Does have the optimal health. It was ticked on down, but unfortunately, Panda is there to make that trade. That was a beautiful swing by the two players.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually got very scary there for a second. Tiano made the perfect read, getting down there, denying the bomb plant, so give himself a little bit of a breather. He might have gotten away with it there if the two teammates didn't double chow. And I was going to talk about this. If you're left in a 1 versus insert number here, you never single chow, especially against someone at the caliber of Tiano. And it looked like it was going to be a bit of a single chow, but luckily the trades were effective. And Blurry, talking about trades, doesn't need to be traded. He finds 2 on his own, already putting the advantage over towards Cost Esports.
Beautiful coming up from the side of Cost Esports. Blurry just absolutely frying anyone that comes near the site. And now it does seem like he will be holding down the fort as best as he can, as he did get the 2 opening kills of the game. And now we're going to be here with the side of Cost Esports. Shaz going to be taken down. That's going to be Apathy who's going to take down Shaz. And we will see some rotation coming from the side of Rage Esports. They might be rotating towards A, it seems. So we'll have to see what does come from them. It does seem like there might be a bit of a standoff here in mid. Apathy wants to try and make that rotation through, but I don't think he just has the info yet of if anyone is there or not. But we're here with Iris now. Iris will be making that rotation now. it does seem like they will be taking that A rotation, and it does seem Iris is going to try and make it through mid possibly, or just try to get info. Spot out the players, does spot one out now, and Panda gonna try and push up to the window. Unfortunately, will get taken down. Iris gonna claim that kill now. It's gonna be put to a 3v1 situation as Tipsy is the last one left to get that bomb done and to try to get this round for the side of Rage. Does take one down. It's gonna be a 2v1 situation. Spots another one down. Unfortunately, that's gonna be Blurry who wins out that duel. That's gonna be 5-5.
Close, man. That got close. That was crazy. He got some shots in at the end there. That was. I wanted to talk about the fact that there was a nice bit of an in-game decision there from the side of Rage Esports to rotate over towards A. But, in my opinion, it was a bit slow as they got caught with their pants down on the rotation and then got picked off one at a time, and there was left to Tipsy for the 1 versus 4, which would have been insane. He made it a 1 versus 2 in the end, but he couldn't quite touch at the end. As you can see now, the side of Cast getting super aggressive themselves. As Tiano looking for absolute blood in the mid-map as he gets information but then gets taken out for it. That might have been worth it. Time will only tell.
Indeed, it does seem like the side of Rage are looking good in this round now as they did get first blood, and it's going to be a man advantage to their side as it's going to be 5 versus 4 in this situation. Shaz just going to jiggle Pete, try to see if he can spot anyone out. Unfortunately, will get shots on his side and not connect with any on his. But a nade will come out from his side. Let's see if he's able to connect with that nade. Doesn't seem like he will be, but that does sort of push the side of Rage Esports a bit back. So that is at least a plus side for them, and it does seem like they will be applying a bit of pressure and just try to hold them down as they try to push forward. But now the side of Cast Esports are going to be put down as they're going to be in a 4v2 situation. This is going to be quite a dire situation for them, and now try to connect with Vector, but unfortunately Vector is going to win out that duel. Iris is going to go down. That's going to be a 3v1 situation. Blurry needs to clutch this one out. Tipsy gets some shots on Blurry, gonna take some of his HP off. Panda is going to make that push towards Blurry, and that's gonna be the round.
Nice work.
Yeah, so that came down to, again, first bloods, win you rounds, right? Tiana getting aggressive, trying to get a bit of information, but it didn't work out for his team as he got nothing but death. And then from that, they just played around it, and they sort of started picking off the players from Cast Esports one at a time, and eventually it left Blurry in a 1 versus 4. And I mean, even the best of us, it's a pretty tall mountain to climb, and eventually he got picked out. Bomb was going down. It was a very, very tough round. And I believe only 1 round away from winning is going to be Rage Esports on the precipice of a 2-0 in this first to 3.
Yeah, this is quite of a shocker, but the side of Rage have just been phenomenal today. They've really played their game. They've had a strategy. They've had a game plan, and it's really just worked out for them. So let's see if they are able to close this one out to make it a clean 2-0. Does seem like they're going to be a bit more composed in this push. They're not going to try and be any frantic or over aggressive. They're going to try to get some info, try to understand what's going to be the best push or where these players are. It does seem like they do have some info, and they're going to be a bit split. And it does seem like they're just trying to get some info on which side would be the best to push. And it does seem like A would be the best solution. And it does seem like we will be seeing a push towards A as 3 players are on the side of A and only 1, which is Spyra, holding it down towards the side of A side. Panda now is going to make that push onto side. Some shots will be coming. The Annihilator is going to connect on other players. Tiano will go down. It's going to be a 3v3 situation now. Spyro will go down. It's going to be a 3v2 situation. Can the side of Rage Esports clutch this out and close it to make it a 2-0 in this series?
Well, it's looking like it as the bomb is about to go down. Another 45 seconds added to the clock. 2 versus 2. It feels like a Thursday night at ACGL. As you can see, these players are trying to get things together here. And a nice bit of a pinch being set up. But you got to be careful now. If you're in the shoes of Blurry, not to overcommit. If he gets that kill, it's going to be huge. But he gives his position away. So, as of right now, the pinch is in. Iris might be able to find 1. But in amongst all of this, the time is ticking. You need to find the kills. It's just shots left, right, and center. And finally, it's Iris with 1. Looking for the 1 versus 2 now is going to be Apathy. Apathy going for 1. It's going to be Iris with 2, and he forces it into the round 12. This is round 12 we're going into. Yes, round 12 we go. As this is overtime. Is this? Do you have to win by 2? Yes, you have to win by 2. Okay, so this is CS:GO. I love it. This is crazy. Where was this Cast Esports side in the HP? This is not the same team. I refuse to believe it.
No, we did not see this, and this is really what I'm disappointed about. This is not the Cast Esports that we saw in the HP, and that's not what I want to see. This is the team I want to see, the team that doesn't give up, the team that gives up a fight. And Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for this overtime. Let's see what comes out from both of these sides. Now the side of Cast Esports will go to attacking side now. And it does seem like some players will spot out the guys on site, but they won't be too frantic about just going to try and get some picks or try and spot out these players. And they will be on the other side. I'm not too sure if they know. Some shots will fly. Blurry will catch some of those. A player will peek the corner, will get taken down by Blurry. And now it's going to be a 3v2 situation now, as Vector is going to be dropped all the way down to no HP. And it's just Vector now to clutch it out in a 2v1 situation against Spyra and Blurry. This is going to be a tough hill to climb for Vector, as these are two of some of the best players on the side of Cast Esports. It's going to be a tough one. And as he comes out the window, that's going to be Blurry getting the round for Cast Esports.
Oh my goodness, they are but one round away from closing it out and evening up this series. But like I said, this is a complete turnaround compared to the previous game mode, that being HP. As Cast Esports, they just sort of pulled finger here. They are playing together as a team, even on attack, which was, in my opinion, a bit of a disadvantage here. They are able to do something great. And I like what Rage Esports is doing here. Is they're getting super aggressive, trying to get over towards A as quickly as possible. And they have one player in the back, watching for the pinch. That's exactly what you want to do. But now you have to win your ones. This is where it's crucial. But of course, it's got to be Shaz who opens things up, making it a 4 versus 3. And it's not looking great for Rage Esports, as the wolves, that is Cast Esports, are slowly closing in, but the trade is there. 4 versus 4. Happily finds another. It is coming down to the wire. Will we be seeing more than one round of overtime is the question.
It does seem so, as the bomb will go down. Tipsy is going to try and plot now, and we will see the side of Cast Esports try to make that entry onto side. It is going to be a 4v3 situation. Let's see if they are able to clutch it out. One long shot is going to come out from the side of Spyro. Spyro going to get some shots, going to get taken down by Panda. Some trades are going to come out. It's going to be a 1v1 situation. That's going to be Tiano versus Panda, who is going to clutch this one out. Tiano needs to clutch this one to close this series out. He is going to get spotted out. He spots him out. He's going to get taken down. And we're going to go into a further overtime.
So now it's just going to be 1 for 1 for 1 at this rate, as no one wants to be going home or going down at the map at this rate. And in my opinion, I respect the push there from Panda, but if I was in his shoes, I would have just checked the bomb when he had to defuse. He still won his one, but I think there was a little bit of an overzealous push, but it doesn't matter. Got the job done in the end, and back onto the attack go the side of Cast Esports. So this seems like a standard COD, not CODM, sort of a rule set now, as it goes attack, defense. No kills as of right now, and I like how aggressive Mr. Tipsy is, as he finds the first blood. Blurry will catch you in the next round. Utility being used, it doesn't matter. He's looking for the second, but he can't quite find it. The trades are there, 4 on 4. This is some top-tier COD Mobile professional plays that you're seeing on your screen here. Panda and Apathy go back-to-back. 1 versus 3, all on the shoulders of Iris, and they are surrounding him like a pack of hungry wolves.
Oh, this is not looking good for the side of Cast Esports. Iris needs to try and clutch this out. Bomb has not gone down yet, so he does need to get bomb, but a long shot will come from him. That's going to be a beautiful, clean kill from the side of Iris. Iris does spot out some players, it seems. Some shots will fly. Unfortunately, won't be able to connect on any. Some shots will connect, and unfortunately, Panda will come out with the win in that duel.
Well, we are 1 round away now from closing it out. So I turned on its head a little bit here, as Rage Esports on defense managed to clutch it up, but they're back onto attack, and this is where they seem to struggle just a little bit. So curious to see what they have in the back pocket here, what they're going to say from the playbook. And the playbook says A, as the entire team seems to be going for full commit, you know. When in doubt, full commit. Utility, you name it, they go looking for shots, but nothing as of right now. Information just being gathered.
Indeed now, and we will see a push coming out from the side of Rage Esports. Tipsy will go down. A trade will not come out from that situation. Now it's going to be a 4v1 situation. Hello?
Not the great start there from the side of Rage, as they pushed the bomb side aggressively, and they got punished for it. Nice little quick scope there, looking for the second. The hit marker is in, but he can't find the full kill, as we are back to pretty much juice in, I don't know, like, you know, tennis juice. You got a base overtime. Too deep. Okay.
Hey, man,
we'll go there. We'll go with that.
It works, man. It works. Okay. But now that is going to be the start of this next round. That's going to be round 17. So let's see what does come out from these sides now, as we hear with the side of Cast Esports. Blurry going to get some shots. Unfortunately, won't be able to fully connect on them. But there we will see some shots connect on the side of Tipsy. Tipsy will take that player down. And now it's going to be a 4v1 situation. Yeah. Oh, 5v1. Oh,
not
my goodness.
great for Iris.
Oh, Iris put in yet another That is just it, man. There's nothing much you can do. It was a 5v1. It was just
Yeah,
really
look, all I'm saying is whichever team is on, or whichever team can win an attacking round is going to win this overtime. So now, all the weight of the world is on Rage Esports' shoulders, and if they go for A again, please change it up. It's obviously not working. There we go. They listen. They can hear me. They are sentient as they have a 3-2 push being set up here as they're trying to create. They're not listening to me at all. I'm just eating my words as they're trying to find something over towards A. And number 3, you got to keep your eyes on Mr. Inder to see if you can find that first pick. But it's going to actually be Shaz who's able to find it. But there's the call. Inder with the rotational player cut down, looking to find something over towards B, but unable to get anything other than that. So all of a sudden it's a 3 versus 4 and advantage in terms of life count and map control for the side of Cast Esports.
Ooh, I was about to say that trigger discipline did also play into the favor of Rage Esports as they did sort of bring it down to even playing field, but unfortunately there was a trade that came out, and as I say that Blurry's going to take one down, is going to get traded out though by Tipsy, and now it's going to be a 2v1 situation, and that is going to be 9-9 on the board. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a lot. I was told that there is a 20 round limit,
cap.
So 20 round cap. So, ooh, I don't know.
At this rate, we're definitely going there, man. Whoever wins an attacking round, I'm telling you, they're going to be the team that wins. As we are even, and of course, Apathy with that sniper opening things up, putting the advantage in terms of life count to the side of Rage Esports. He is eventually traded for it, but it doesn't matter. The information is in. They know where the majority of these players are. I didn't see a single trophy going down. There is one that has been destroyed. So Blurry makes the entry. He's traded out, looking for a few more was in it, but he gets traded himself. So 3-on-4, 2-on-1, 1-on-2. It is just coming down to the wire, but unfortunately Blurry is not quick enough with the snap as he gets taken out as we go back with the side of Rage Esports in the lead because they seem to be clutching up this defensive side. And please, just go B for the love of everything.
Just go B. But we'll have to see what does coming from there. We do see yet again, it's a 3-2 split push from the side of Rage. And again, Bomb is going to be on the side where A side is. So it does seem like we might be seeing sort of a B fake from the side of Rage where they might be pushing an A. But I am seeing a rotation now coming from the side the guy that does have Bomb. But it doesn't seem like they're going to be going B. And it does seem, again, just not changing it up. They're switching to their guns. They want to go for that A. They feel that's going to work.
Yeah, and it's not going to work because it hasn't worked for every other round that they'd be going for. Like, I don't know, in my opinion, if I was the coach, I'd be screaming at the screen right now. This is clear. You know the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is very, very clearly broke. As you can see, the side of Cast Esports has time on their side. 1 minute and 8 seconds. They're just slowly inching their way further and further up on the map, pushing the side of Rage Esports back into their spawn, boxing them in effectively, and that is not where you want to be, as it seems like they're running out of options and time very, very quickly.
You know what? At this point, it is broke. Fix it.
Exactly.
Rotate to B, get that bomb down, and it's just going to play better to your advantage. Because, I mean, they understand now that they are making that push towards A. Because, I mean, I think they've established that already. Make that rotation, get to B, get that bomb down, and pay for that post plant. We do see a kill coming from the side of Tiano. Tiano will get traded out by Inder. Inder will be holding his ground down in mid side. Tipsy going to try to get some shots down. Unfortunately, won't connect on any of them. But we are here with Apathy. Is Apathy able to connect on any shots? Unfortunately, not. But it is a 3v3 situation. Let's see what does come out from them. Tipsy is going to, unfortunately, is going to get taken down. Apathy makes that rotation as well. Will get taken down as well. That's going to be a 2v1 situation. No, he cannot.
Lost that round.
Back to overtime we go. 10 aside, target 12, you name it. It's just going to be go, 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 go to every single equalizer that there possibly is. But again, this is going to be a hot take. Stop being scared of B. It feels like both sides are afraid to attack something other than A, and here we go again. The side of Cast Esports barreling towards A as quickly as possible. The information is in there, been tagged up by the utility. Now they need to survive. The shots are raining in across the map, and no one has been taken out as of right now. Not a single bit of streaks. First hit of trades are through, and of course it's going to be India who comes out on top, looking for a bit more, but Tiano's there for the trade. 3-on-3, and the bomb can go down. It has been picked up, but look at the side of Rage Esports. For the first time, they are looking like they're a little bit on the back foot here, as they have no one in the site. Do they have nades? Do they have anything? Because they might be able to deny this plant with just over a minute to work with here. I'd actually say the advantage is in the side of Cast Esports here.
Indeed, it doesn't seem like they have any util on the side of on the side of Rage Esports. So this might be quite a difficult retake for them, and it does seem like they are holding down the fort extremely well. But the side of Rage Esports does seem like they're going to try and bide their time, trying to see if they can take their moment and pick the perfect time to make that push. And now is going to be that time to make that push as they get an entry kill on one of the players that is going to be on site. But it doesn't seem like they're going to be too frantic about that. They're just going to try and play it out, try and see if any of the players are going to try and peek it out. And it does seem like they will be doing that. Tiana going to make that push out, going to take down Apathy to put it into a 2v2 situation. Does see another player is going to get taken out by Tipsy. Now it's going to be a 2v1 situation. Blurry left in an unfortunate situation where he is going to be down on it. But it is going to get the upper hand because he will get a peek on that player. Shots will fly, connect on a few, but unfortunately won't be able to connect on that final kill. And he will get spotted out, and that is going to be it for that round. That is going to be a point on the side of Rage Esports.
Yeah, Rage Esports, they show a bit of grit towards the end there. And actually, to take back what I said, that the advantage towards Cast Esports, with Apathy on that sniper, all he had to do was wait for the guy to try to plant the bomb and deny it. That's exactly what he did. So, I don't understand why these people keep going towards A. If you can have one player literally deny your entire play. And of course, it's Iris in the back who gets traded immediately. Apathy with a sniper in hand. Vector with an entry there. So, for a change, it looks like life count and almost side control in favor of Rage Esports here as they try to get on through. But of course, Tiana with a bit of a pinch as per usual gets another one of those picks. It's going to be trades on trades on trades. Apathy left in a 1 versus 2 with the sniper. Will he be able to make it work is the question. But the bomb, absolute kilometers away from him as he has to go pick that up as he's slow walking into the line of sight of Blurry. But he gets shot 1 versus 1, looking for the second. Oh, I can't get the quick scope as we back into overtime.
But what I don't get is there's so much aggression, and it's just not playing into the favor of any of these guys. And again, why are we pushing A so much? Why not push B? Why not try and change it up or try something different? Because we understand it's not working. And finally, they're hearing our words and we are seeing a B push from the side of Rage Esports. And now, Cast Esports rather, they are going to be making that push onto B side. And it does seem like they do have the upper hand now as the side of Rage Esports need to make that rotation all the way from A side. Tiana will get taken down by Vector. Shaz gonna make it onto site now. The reload comes from Vector. Vector unfortunately isn't able to claim that kill now. It's going to be a 3v3 situation now as Cast Esports do have sight at the moment. Are they able to hold it down? It does seem like a push will come from the side of Iris. Panda isn't able to connect on the shots. Will get taken up but traded out as well by the side of Spyra. Now it is left to a 2v1 situation. Shots fly out from Inda. Inda unfortunately isn't able to get the confirmation on that kill, but it is going to be down to a 2v1 situation. Can he clutch it out?
Well, all he has to do now is actually play the time and deny that plant. If they get that bomb down, it is going to be a tough situation for them to retake. It is going down currently, so 45 seconds for a bit of a retake here is going to be tough as he just needs to find one kill. Actually, if he can get one of these players on their own and then work around for a single kill, he might be able to do that, but he is really working those angles, taking his time as long as possible. And I like what the side of Cast Esports is doing. They are not splitting. They know where the players are going to be. Shaz might be shot in the back here. Whoa, my goodness, the timing is just not there for Inda as the clock ticking away now as he has to find these kills and he has to find them quickly. Nice little bit of trigger discipline there. He needs to find that second player. He knows where one is. He sees him. He doesn't get the shot. He gets the shots, but not the kill. So now he has been spotted out. The trades are in and we get to see our first attacking round win. And dare I say, that is enough to seal the deal for the side of Cast Esports and as they will be going back into this.
You know, I hate to say, well, Trout hates to say he told you so, but go B. That's just what we're telling you. I mean, that's just been the secret to all of this, is that it's just seemed like the players just started predicting an A push all the time. They were always ready for it, and it got to a point where there was even aggressive plays that are coming out from the side of A side on the defender side. So just a change of scenery, a change of side did work out for them, and they did get a point. But it does seem like now it's going to be a tough one as they're going to be put in a 4v3 or 4v2. Make that. Ooh, it is looking very, very dire in this one. Now it's going to be a 4v1 situation, and yet again, it's your boy Iris.
Okay. So what is happening here, and I'm just going to put this out there, is Rage Esports is saying anything you can do, we can do better. We don't even have to get the bomb down. We'll just play a game of TDM, waltz their way through the middle of the map, and just completely cut everyone down. As they go back onto defense, we get to see another B push. Will they be able to deny it? Is the question. I have so many questions. This is going to do my head in. We are already at the target at 14. I believe this is our 8th overtime. It's too crazy, man.
I don't even know what to say at this point. This is literally just mind-boggling that they've gone this far. And the way it's looking, they might actually hit the cap. I can't even believe that. I honestly can't believe that. But we will see an entry from the side of Cast Esports. 2 players will get taken down, or rather, 2 players on the side of Rage Esports. It's going to be 4v3 advantage for the side of Cast Esports. Cast Esports do have sight now, and Bomb will be going down. So the side of Rage Esports need to play retake now, as it's going to look very, very, very tough for them to make that entry. Does seem like Apathy just couldn't get that shot in time, or didn't get a proper time to get the shot out. Does get the shot out, unfortunately isn't able to connect on them, and will get taken down by Iris. And now it's going to be a 3v2 situation, where Inda is going to spot on one of the players' shots will fly. Unfortunately isn't able to get the confirmation on that, and now will have to make that rotation away, and he is going to get pushed. And Panda as well, going to try and connect on some shots, unfortunately won't be able to. And now from behind, Shaz takes one down. Will he be able to take the second one down? Unfortunately, Inda will do that first, but Shaz there to save the day.
It looks like things are turning on their heads here. It seems like attacking rounds are being favored, as it seems like it's the attacking rounds now winning. As for a change, we have Cast in the lead as they went over to B, got the bomb down, held the retake. It came down to a 2 versus 3 and eventually a 2 versus 2. But down to the wire isn't enough to seal the deal, as we see the side of Rage Esports flying towards A once more. Will it work is the question, as the first set of bloods go down and no one gets taken out, just information gathered. But of course, it's going to be Iris looking for more, but he gets taken out by Apathy. So advantage for the side of Rage Esports.
You know, I think it's when these teams get that round advantage, they sort of become a bit too frantic or over aggressive. I think it's sort of become the mentality that we have one round, let's just try and close it out as quick as possible. And it's really not played into the favor of a lot of them, because now, as you saw, Iris tried to make that push, got taken down, and now it's going to be a 5v4 disadvantage for the side of Cast Esports. So I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like once these teams have that advantage, they need to try and play a bit more conservative now. And it's going to be yet another player goes down. It's going to be a 4v2 situation now for the side of Cast Esports, and it is not looking good for them.
Well, they're just being boxed in here. 4 versus 3, though, so it's getting a little bit of a closer game. 1 versus 2. Look at Mr. Tiano. He might make it happen here, but the bomb is yet to go down, but it is placed in a bit of an awkward position. If they pick it up, he'll be able to make something happen, but Apathy is there for a quick snap as we go back to overtime. As, like I said, things have turned on their head as attacking rounds. It's just where it's at. These teams are not giving each other an inch to breathe, as another round going the way of Rage Esports and placing us firmly back in overtime.
Indeed. Now we will be seeing the side of Cast Esports going to try and make that rotation towards the B side, and it does seem like it might be a bit of a fast push, as it does seem like they're going to try and get onto site as quick as possible. 2 kills will come from the side of Vector, but Vector will get shit out by Shaz. Now it's going to be a 3v2 situation. Make that. Now the side of Cast Esports do have the advantage. Shots will be flying from the side of Panda. Isn't able to connect on any, and is not looking good now, as Panda's not connecting on any shots now. We'll have to switch that secondary. Is he able to get anything? Unfortunately not, and now it's going to be left to Inda to clutch it out in this 3v1 situation. Does spot 1 out, does spot 2 out. Shots are going to be flying. Unfortunately not connecting, and Iris going to be the victor in that fight.
Damn, Inda was shooting above him. He was like painting the painting the rock behind him. He was like just warning shots. I'm not exactly sure how the aim assist works, but damn, that was unfortunate. As of course, another attacking round being won by the side of Cast Esports here. It's looking like round 20 is absolutely on the horizon, as A are going to be the call for the side of Rage Esports.
Indeed, and I never thought I'd see this happening. I really did not see this coming, but the side of Rage have just been so relentless with their gameplay, and it does seem like the side of Cast Esports just sort of woke up after that 100-point club, and they're like, you know what, we're not having this. We are not having this disrespect, and they really have come out in this one, but it's looking very evenly matched thus far, and I really can't tell who's going to win this one. I feel it's just literally going to go down to the wire, where the cap has to separate these two teams.
I mean, absolutely. As the first set of trades go through pretty much immediately, Inda takes out Blurry. Trades on trades. The battle is happening in the mid-map. And coming out pretty much on top is going to be Cast Esports, as they have the one-man advantage. Tipsy now put in a tough position. He gets taken out, leaving Mr. Vector in a 1 versus 2. Make it a 0 versus 2, as finally we have a victor. Cast Esports take the win after 15 grueling rounds of pretty much overtime. It felt like the whole game was overtime. I mean, 13-15, it's a pretty close game, if you ask me, seeing as that there were that many overtimes. And talk us through what you think was the keys to victory there.
I don't know, man. Like, I think, first of all, the side of Cast Esports needed to wake up. They needed to come back into the game after that HP because there was no unison. They just looked so disjointed. There was no coordination. But I think once we got into S&D, I think in the first few rounds, again, it still wasn't there. But the more the rounds came onto the board, the more they started getting into it. We started seeing a lot more coordinated gameplay. They started playing as if they were playing like Rage now, where they played for trades. They swung together. They didn't make those unnecessary pushes. You know, they weren't. There was actually a strategy. There was actually a game plan, and they just didn't run in like headless chickens, or didn't run in as if it's like a free for all. You know, they played it like it's S&D. They played it how it's supposed to be, and I think the teamwork that we mentioned, the way that they needed to play together as a team was what worked out for them. Because anytime a player on the side of Cast Esports went down, someone was there to trade it out.
Absolutely. I think that, but you know, I must admit that only came in about the 8th or 9th round. It really was still looking like an all-rage esports show at the start of that S&D, but it just seems like something clicked. And just to talk about mental a little bit in terms of Call of Duty, to win a game like that and when it's been overtime, for the side of Rage, that's crushing, right? You've been doing so well to stay in it. But for the side of Cast Esports, that's exactly what you're looking for. Now, I bet you in the comms, they're all shouting. They're all super excited. They're like, right, now we got the momentum. Let's take it to the control, which is also going to be on Raid, if anyone is wondering. We'll be going back to the same map pretty much indefinitely, except for the next map. If we go, well, either way, we will be seeing at the very least the next map, which is going to be on standoff, and then I'm not sure what the last map is going to be if we run the distance.
It's going to be Raid, actually. So quite a lot of Raid today.
Yeah, it seems like the classics are out, but regardless, I mean, this is the kind of Call of Duty I expect from PC or console COD, but COD Mobile, you've really surprised me. I'm really impressed with the skills that are being shown here. Rotations, it's crazy. Okay, so the voice of God, also known as Mr. Reggie, has told us that we'll be going to a short break, a little bit of an intermission. We'll be right back.
I'm 24 years old and I'm from Joburg. So now we can go into the competitive scene and have no excuses because it's just a smooth game with servers brought into the country.
Signaling the start of our next game.
Hey guys, I'm Lucy. I'm one of the co-founders for Carry First, and we're here at the Ivyson Gaming Tournament celebrating Call of Duty mobile activation in South Africa. So we started Carry First 4 years ago because we saw that mobile gaming was massive everywhere in the world, and that we thought mobile gaming would be sort of the best suited way to build a large, meaningful company across Africa. We have like the youngest population in the world, it's fast growing, it's dynamic, it wins in every other cultural sector, whether that's music, art, entertainment, sports. and gaming should be no different. And we thought, this was the time to bring and catalyze mobile gaming across Africa.
And it's been round one, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be shortly with you. Round two coming up.
My name's Cristiano dos Ramos. My gamer tag is Tiano. And yeah, I've been playing Call of Duty Mobile for the last 3 years, and this is the first 5v5 tournament, so I had to make sure that I made a plan to get here today. In South Africa, there are a few esports that you can have a career from. Call of Duty Mobile, not yet, but I'm definitely hoping in the near future. A lot of us are sponsored by certain teams and organizations. Obviously, with the inception of the brand collaborators now with Call of Duty Mobile, it's a blessing for us.
1, and we are underway with our grand final.
I am Tandeka Zili. I came here to play Call of Duty Mobile. I'm a beginner. I don't really play Call of Duty that much. It's just something I do as a hobby. So playing here, I was a bit nervous. The first round, happily I made it, surprisingly. And the second round, I got knocked out. But it's a great experience, to be honest.
I just want to say GG's to all my friends, teammates, competitors. These guys obviously pushed me to be the best player that I could be right now. It's nerve-wracking, especially on stage, the lights, the cameras, the crowd. It's such a vibe.
What's up guys, Nadeem here from Carry First, and today we are at Wits University. The energy has been fantastic. We've got a bunch of students here all playing Call of Duty Mobile. It's exciting, it's fast-paced, it's strategic, and I'm giving away some tickets. So come with me.
My name is Brayson Valaydam. I come from Cape Town originally. I'm studying at Wits. I started playing COD in 2019, close to when the game came out, and I've just been enjoying it ever since. The first time I played on servers was at Comic-Con Africa 2022, and it was sweet. I played at the COD mobile stands, and it was a nice vibe and stuff. And like you can just see the communities like coming together with the new servers, the world chats, everything is like, it's amazing. It's going really well.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned in to the Sub-Saharan African Championship COD Mobile. Whew. Man, I'm a bit exhausted after that one. I did not expect that S&D to go as far as it did, but man, what an S&D chart.
Dude, that was a literal grinder, and in every sense of the word, it took long. The rounds took long, and it was even everyone in chat was like, "Okay, surely someone has to win now. Surely somebody has to win now." And then eventually, it was Cast Esports that came out on top, evening the score at 1 apiece in terms of map count. So, the question is, will they be able to carry that momentum into a game mode, which is, in my opinion, the perfect mix between S&D and Hardpoint. So, I'm not sure if you've had the privilege of casting some Control yet, but do you understand the basics of the game mode?
Definitely, I do understand the basics of it, but I haven't been able to cast over it, so you're going to be carrying me a lot on this one. But I do understand the dynamics of it. Both teams are going to have 30 lives. There's going to be one team that is going to be on the attacking side, one team on the defending side. One team is going to have to, obviously the attacking side is going to have to try capture 2 points. If they do capture that, they win the round. But if the defending team stops them from capturing the 2 points, then they win the rounds. But remember, they do have 30 lives. So if your team does run out of lives, you can lose the round. And this one is a first to 3. What are your thoughts on this one, Grouch?
I think that there's just so many dynamics in this game mode that just make it work as a third competitive game mode. So there was a lot of debate, especially over I don't want to say standing COD, so on the other COD, which was going to be even for Modern Warfare 2 most recently. And it just keeps coming back to Control because it is the perfect pace of trying to cap a point. You have a life cap, so that's like S&D, and it has to be coordinated. I'm curious to see whether or not what the strats look like, or not whether or not what the strats look like for COD Mobile, because the typical thing that we tend to see is the entire team putting all the resources over towards the more difficult cap in terms of which point is more difficult to cap. If they get 2 ticks there, they chalk it up, go over to the other one, completely cap that one, then they can use all of that extra time that they've gained and lives to try to throw towards the more difficult point and eventually just take it over. Because obviously, in my opinion, I feel that defense in terms of Control is just so favored because there'll always be a point that you spawn up really close to and you can make those crazy hero plays off a spawn, run to the point, clear it out, and then the time runs out and it goes your way. But again, I'm curious to see as to how the time works because I've seen 3 different iterations of how the time works in Control. So is it for every point you get 30 seconds, or if you cap a point you get a minute? And then how if it comes to a tiebreaker in round 5, who is determined of getting, or how defense is determined. Wow, that was really difficult. I promise you I can talk quite eloquently normally, but how defense is calculated, whether it's ticks or kills, I'm just very excited to see how this game mode plays out on mobile.
Oh, definitely. And one thing I just want to bring up is, what are your thoughts going into this last round? So we've seen what both of the teams have to offer, right? Well, it's not really the last round because, it is going to be 2-1 to either team. But from the side of Rage Esports, they came out guns blazing from the first round. From HP, they dominated Cast Esports. In round number 2, it was sort of a more evenly matched type of matchup, but we didn't really see Cast Esports in it, especially in the HP. And as you mentioned, in the first sort of 6-8 rounds, we didn't really see Cast Esports in it that much. But now the way we've seen, seems like Cast Esports has sort of woken up a bit. Do you think that they're going to come to play in this next matchup?
Well, I think they have to, and a big thing that they have on their side now is momentum, and I talk about that a lot with these teams. If you win a match like a blowout with the 250, it feels like you've got a lot of momentum, but then if you lose it the next one, it feels like you've really been crushed. And then the momentum's completely swung to the side of Cast Esports like it has now. But a bit of a caveat to that, there has been a very long break between these games, as I'm pretty sure they're still busy loading up. So there's been a lot of time for the side of Rage Esports to get in the calm things, say, listen, we've already taken them in the HP, which is a respawn game mode. We're going into another one. This is obviously where they are confident, and they can absolutely do it here. So if things work out and they get the kills like they need to, get that first clean squad wipe, they'll be able to get onto a point, and I think they can really play around that. But having said that, all the things I've heard about Cast Esports and what they showed me in the S&D, this is the team to beat, and they're going to be coming out guns blazing, and they have to keep their guns up, their heads held high, otherwise it'll be another walkover, because I'm pretty sure Rage Esports is out for blood after that grinder.
Oh, definitely. You even touched on it earlier. It's like you go all those rounds just to lose it. It has to be so gut-wrenching, and it really is tough because especially in these competitive environments where you're playing just one round, not even, an entire game, just one round of a best of 5 series, and it goes for that long. You need to understand the the sort of toll it takes on you, on the players, mentally, how draining or how frustrating or like demotivating can that be for you as a player? And you mentioned it now, they just had a break. They sort of had time to just tell each other, you know what? We just get ready for this next one, go next, and we try and take them in this next one. We took them in the HP. We can definitely take them in this control map. And I feel yet again, this is going to be Raid. So I don't know, man. I really feel that Rage is going to be a lot more hungry coming into this one, coming off a loss in that previous round.
Absolutely. And I think I think that they will be coming on hungry unless they feel crushed. But I doubt that, because now they've had the time to talk, like I said. I'm curious to see what the setups are going to look like for Control, how the defense is going to play it. Because in typical 4v4, which is where I really saw this game mode played the most, you can't really have that fifth player sort of rotating between either side. You can have a 2-2 split, but then if you get traded out, you're going to be in trouble. With the fifth player, almost like a sweeper in hockey, for a bit of a sports reference, the player that can get in and make the cleanup kill is always there in a 5v5, which I really appreciate for Call of Duty. And it's great for mobile, but it sort of messes up the pacing a little bit and takes away the need for roles in the other COD. But in this one, I can see that it's very clear that it is essential. That fifth player is always the player that comes out on top with the trade and then stays out and then has enough time to reset and wait for his teammates to get around, whether it was HP or even on position of holding a bomb site. If that one player can stay up and find 1-2 kills, then he's pretty much done his work, and then the advantage is already there. And I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to replicate that here in the Control. As we are waiting for two players. If anyone was wondering, we are still waiting for two players, and we'll be getting into it. If anyone's hungry for gameplay.
Indeed, we will be loading into game number 3 of this series. But yeah, man, like, I don't know. I'm really just so intrigued about how this is going to play out, because honestly, from my prediction, I'm not even going to lie. I sort of predicted this to sort of be a clean sweep for the side of COD Esports. I really thought this was going to sort of be a 3-0. But it does seem like the side of Rage are really not going to let that happen. And it's starting to seem like Rage might be, top contenders for this, because they really are taking the fight to COD Esports. And it's looking like it might actually go, if not 3-1, it might go all the way. I feel that you might possibly be seeing around 5.
Well, game 5 is actually probably a reality here, just depending on who wins this Control, because that's generally the momentum shifter. And if you go 2-1 up in the series and you won the Control and you obviously won the HP, that's where you're going to be sitting pretty, because then this is my game. I know what I'm doing here, and that's really what they're going to be playing around. So we're obviously going to have to wait and see how that happens. But I'm here. We're busy loading in, so that's what we're going to be here. Last little thought point before we get into the casting is, I want to know what your opinion is on Warzone 2 that dropped yesterday.
Well, I'm not going to lie, I haven't really been able to get the opportunity to get around playing the game, but honestly, I really love, the new contests that they've come up with as well. I was actually in call with someone who is playing the game, and they were in the gulag and they found something new, and it's sort of, just put a little surprise factor in there. So I really love the fact that there has been changes to the game and there's just a whole new fresh feel towards it. But I guess we'll just have to see once we fully get more knowledge on the game. But we now have loaded into the map of Control. This is going to be game number 3. The scores are tied at 1-1 at the moment, so whoever wins this one will be going 2-1 up in this series. Trout?
Well, I like what the side of COD Esports has done out of the gate here. Is they managed to sort of bully their way over towards B. Much like the bomb site, it is pretty much impenetrable once you get the setup. And as of right now, they've managed to find 2 ticks and they're looking to close it out here. So a very, very definitive attacking round here from the side of COD Esports, as they've lost minimal lives, as they have a 2-life advantage, and they managed to find... Well, I wouldn't say the more difficult point. I'd actually say that B's a little bit easier. But here we go towards A. And I like what Tipsy has done. I was going to say that fifth player, the sweeper, in this case it is Tipsy, who just gets behind enemy lines and gets those kills. And here, this is where defense becomes so powerful, is the spawn trap. If you're on the shoes of Tipsy, you're going to go out there and try to kill these players even before they get up into the mid-map. And here we go, number 4. I believe it's going to be Panda with a crucial 1-on-1 to win. He does manage to win that. So the kills now just rolling for the side of Rage Esports. They have claimed the lead by 5 kills. It's Blurry, the man. He seems to be keeping it going 2 in a row now for himself, but still 2-life advantage as they manage to stave the first set of pushes coming out of the side of COD Esports here towards A.
Indeed, it did seem like the side of Cast Esports did sort of get an advantage right out of the gate, but now it does seem like they are starting to catch up. As it sort of seemed like Cast Esports did catch them out in the beginning, but now Rage just started to catch up with them, and now Rage are going to be sitting with a 3-man advantage as the side of Cast Esports is going to be sitting on 14 lives, make that 12 lives in an instant, and 16 for the side of Rage. It does seem like they are favorable to win this one, and they haven't been able to get on to the next objective, so they haven't even been able to claim A. But as I say that, I'm going to eat my words. They finally make entry onto A, and is something going to come out from this? Unfortunately, it does not seem like that will be the case. But now, it does seem like the lives are diminishing on the side of Cast Esports. It is looking like it is going towards the side of Rage Esports.
And this is exactly what I was talking about on defense. You just have to hold off those pushes a little bit further. The more difficult point, that being A, you just have to hold it, and the players come to you. And I mean, the trades are there, but it doesn't matter. When you've pretty much doubled the score, well, not score, doubled the lives for the side of KG Sports. If you're in the shoes of Rage Esports here, you just have to wait, and the players will come to you. And that's exactly what's happened here. 3-on-4. Every single time you see a player from the side of Cast Esports, maybe it's Tiana in the back now trying to make a play, but 4 versus 11, it is going to be a oh my word, man, got turned and burned on stream. Hate to see that. 2 versus 11, 25 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and say that this round has been chalked up for the side of Rage Esports, as they are going to be coming out of this nice and hot, and it is going to be 1 round going their way.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gameplay coming out from the side of Rage. And Rage really played that extremely well. You know, right out the gate, it seemed like Cast Esports had the upper hand. They got onto points, you know, they claimed it extremely quickly. I mean, right even before they lost almost like 5 lives. But it just seemed like Rage, you know, they sort of played it well. You know, they're like, you know what, okay, fine. We'll let them have the objective. We play for the next one. And you saw Tipsy got them on that rotation, and once that happened, that spawn trap just got them, and they were just outplayed in that instant.
Well, and it looks like they're trying to replicate exactly what the side of Cast Esports did here in their attacking round, as they find the first 2 ticks pretty much instantly, only going down 2 lives. And here comes Spyro at the back trying to get some kills, but Panda and Inda just say not today, as Inda finds 4 for himself. And there's a contest over towards B between Shaz and Inda, but who's going to come out on top? The answer is Inda, as Panda with another 2-piece. So life count now completely in favor for the side of Rage Esports, and if they are quick, they're going to go right through the spawn for the side of Cast Esports. Get over towards A, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're just completely tearing their way through this Cast Esports side. Specialist being called, you name it, it is just a bloodbath. 25-17. Things are not looking good for Cast Esports here.
Indeed, I'm really loving the card that we're seeing right now. Rage Esports is just playing this so well, and now they are already on the objective. Now all they need to do is capture this objective, and they get 2 rounds on the board for themselves. It's going to be the first tick on this objective. Now Blurry is going to get spotted out, going to get taken down by Vector. Vector spots out a second player, going to take that player down too, and now it is looking good for the side of Rage Esports as they're edging closer and closer towards getting that 2 tick. Let's see if they are able to close this one out and try to get 2 points on that board. Now that's going to be the second tick for him. All he needs is just this last tick, and it's just 5 versus 17 for the side of Rage Esports, and we can just safely say this is going to be a round for the side of Rage Esports. And honestly, domination.
I was going to say, man, that is clinical control out of the side of Rage Esports. Fly onto the point with all of their utility used onto B, secure it as quickly as possible. Then they go for the spawns. They try their best to go get as many kills as possible so that they can get that life count advantage before they send resources over towards A. And on top of all of that, they got so many kills, pretty much the entire lobby, being 2, Apathy and Vector, have full streaks. That is going to be so key for clearing these points on defense. Even if it looks like there's going to be a good round going the way of Cast Esports here, a streak can just completely end that. But in this case, it doesn't need to be that way, as it's simply the side of Rage Esports clearing them off of the points with the gunny.
Yeah, now honestly, Vector and Apathy have just been on an absolute tear, man. They've really just been cleaning out the side of Cast Esports, and now it does seem like they will be doing the same thing, as that 3rd tick is almost, they were edging closer to that 3rd tick, almost captured the B objective, but unfortunately, one of the players was taken down on site, and now Vector will be holding down the fort for the side of Rage Esports on this point now. It does seem like they did make that rotation now, and they will try and capture the A objective. Now, Tiano will be sliding through, does take down Vector, and now the side of Cast Esports have made it onto the A objective, and now will try and claim it. They have got the first tick, edging closer to that second tick as well, and they might have 2 ticks on both objectives. All they'll need now is just to get the 1 tick on each of these objectives now to claim a round on the board for themselves. Now, Apathy is going to be cleaning up that site already. Apathy has just been on an absolute tear, sitting on 21 kills, and that is going to be objective lost for the side of Rage Esports, and now that is going to be 1 more objective left for the side of Cast Esports to capture.
Okay, well, Rage Esports has to be careful here. What's happening is the side of Cast Esports pushing through their spawn now, and they're getting the kills. The spawn trap is beginning to develop for them. They need to be careful that they don't get trapped here. They have a 4-life advantage, but they need to make sure that their trades are effective. And at the moment, it's not really working out that way, as they managed to actually get the effective trades at the end there. And of course, it's going to be ended with a huge 2-piece there coming off the back of the claw. Streaks being used. That's exactly the right timing, as they managed to push off these bushes. 9 kills in the lead. Second set of streaks coming through. That is like clutch on clutch, and it was very, very, very close there for the side of Cast Esports. They nearly got in there at the end, but 7 seconds to 7 to 19. They just need to keep these players further and further, and then they just bleed the life count, and that's exactly what's happening. 9 to 17. The absolute perfect play has to come through from the side of Cast Esports, but it is everything in the kitchen sink, and here comes the play. It's Shaz with 3, with the use of a specialist. Make it 4. That's all 4 down. That's enough of an opening skip onto the point. It's just left to Mr. Ender on the point to clear it out. He's going to be able to find 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter. They clear the point. There is someone capping. It's going to have to be planned for the contest. 4 versus 12. It is coming down to the wire. Tiana, the last one pushed up. He finds 2. That's all 4 down. He has to go huge, but he can't do it. Tipsy gets down. It's just, oh my goodness, they're onto the point. It's coming down to 2 versus 1. Here comes the Child Panda. Has to get the contest. They are too far. They're too far. The contest objective.
Damn it. What? What did we just witness?
Clutch. Full stop.
Oh my goodness. I was even about to apologize, because in the moment I was about, I really interrupted you because I was looking at how well the side of Rage Esports played that. They played their streaks. It started seeming like the lives of the side of Cast Esports were diminishing, but somehow Cast Esports cleaned that out and got the point.
I'm going to be honest with you. Single-handedly on the back of Shaz there, using a specialist. That is a piece of utility usage that can change the course of the game, and that's exactly what's happened. As he found a 3-4 piece, and that was enough to open up the point completely. But having said that, now Rage Esports with the 2-life advantage, and they find at least the first 2 ticks over towards B. Iris with another specialist of his own in hand here to see if he can find some spawn kills, but he's going to have to do it quickly. He finds another one. That's going to be streaks for him, potentially. It is indeed. He is keeping it going. Triple kill. He is just putting in the work, but it doesn't matter. B has been capped 24 to 22. 2-life advantage now for the side of Rage Esports here, but they have to get onto this point. And of course, it's Spyro with that Annihilator in the back pocket. He can use that when he needs, as the life count has now swung back in favor for the side of Cast Esports.
Yeah, it does seem like now Cast Esports are going to be in favor of this one now, as Shaz will be pushing through, does spot one out, another one will get shit out in that room as well, and does seem like now the side of Cast Esports are looking good in this one. The side of Rage Esports have already claimed the first objective, but let's see if they are able to close it out now, as they are down by 6 lives, but let's see if they are able to close this one out. They haven't got any tick whatsoever yet on the objective, but they do still have an opportunity, as there is still 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock for them to claim that objective. And now Tiana will be pulling out that Annihilator and annihilating anyone that comes in his way. Does take down that one player, spots another one out. Unfortunately, will not be able to get that kill. And that's going to be a 10 kill advantage on the side of Cast Esports. And Cast Esports looking favorable to win this round.
Absolutely, but the question is, will the side of Rage Esports be able to do exactly what Cast did in the previous round? It was pretty much the same stat line here, 7 v 18. They just need to get 1 clean sweep and stack points to get something going. But Apathy, the last one up on this push, 4 versus 16, not looking great. He may be able to find a few more, but the utility usage is just not quite there, as this round is not looking great, as everyone is pretty much kilometers away. 5, oh, actually no, it's 5 versus 14. Make it 4 versus 14. It's just backwards and forwards. I can't actually tell how many respawns are left. 2 respawns?
Oof, it is not looking. It's 1 respawn left for the side of for the side of Rage Esports, and it doesn't look likely that this is going to be a round for them. We will see the specialist coming out for the side of Inda. Let's see what Inda can pull out with this. 9 lives on that, and he only has 20 seconds to capture that point, and it is looking like it is going to be a round on the side of
Don't speak too quickly. Don't speak too quickly. They're onto the point. What? How would it? Wait a second. They were on the point.
Unfortunately, I'm not too sure.
No. That doesn't seem. The contest shouldn't. The clock shouldn't run on a contest. It should pause, unless it doesn't work that way in this game.
I don't think it pauses.
Wow, that is. I'm gonna go ahead and call this out from COD Mobile. That is something that just takes the ability for a clutch player to go out the window. Regardless, it doesn't matter. We're going into our round 5. On defense, it is going to be Rage Esports. And on the burner, go the side of Rage Esports. Not Rage Esports, sorry. Cast Esports, as they are just burning through towards B. They find the first 2 ticks and the life count advantage by 4. It's just left to Victor to try to make the solo play, but he gets taken out. So what was the start for the side of Rage Esports has just again turned on its head, as everyone from the side of Cast Esports has just completely turned it on, and they are doing the Lord's work in Call of Duty.
Beautiful gameplay coming from the side of Cast Esports now, as they do have the 2-man advantage, and they are sitting on 2 ticks at the moment on the objective. All they need is just that 1 more, and we might see that rotation coming through from them. Now we are seeing here Shaz is going to take 1 down. Unfortunately, will get traded out, and now there's going to be 1 kill at 1-man advantage for the side of Cast Esports. But it does seem like this one is a little bit slow paced, not as frantic as before. But Iris will be coming up with 1 kill there. Does spot out 2 players that are going to be on the objective. Unfortunately, isn't able to take down any of them. Apathy is going to be the one to claim that kill. Gets another one now on Shaz. Apathy just going to be absolutely tearing up this lobby as well, just behind the man Vector, who is in the lead with 33 kills, sitting on 27. Absolutely insane gameplay coming from these two.
Absolutely. I mean, those two are just putting in the work for their side. But having said that, it looks like the work from the side of Cast Esports has been cut out for them, as the life count just keeps on going backwards and forwards, and they are unable to get to a point. So in the midst of all of this, they haven't actually been able to cap anything. So they are down to their last 20 seconds, and they need to get onto a point. They need to do it right now. But Panda, with that Annihilator in hand over towards A, is pretty much a 1-man cannon, and he's just going to keep denying these players. But it looks like the net has been slipped from the side of Cast Esports as they get on through towards the back. And look, the time has stopped when they're in the point.
Oh, so they maybe did not actually make it onto that side.
They ran out of lives. Okay, so it came down to game. No, but it didn't seem that way to me. It's just difficult to see here. But here comes a bit of utility usage. 9 to 7, 9 seconds, 2 points now on either side. It's just pandemonium, man.
It's just crazy. You know, it's so split. We have 2 players on the side of B objective. We have 1 player that's also trying to push it on the A side, but they're just holding it so well. B has been captured for the side of Cast Esports. All they need now is to capture the last objective. They do have at least 1 minute now on the clock to make it all the way to A, and they do have the advantage. No, actually, they don't have the advantage. They're actually 2 lives behind the side of Rage Esports, but all they need is 1 more tick, and they win this round. Let's see what is going to come from this side now. We will see some shots flying. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to connect on them, and we'll see some trades coming on. We'll be a 4v1 situation now, and Cast Esports are going to go down. And that's going to be 3 on the board for Rage Esports, and that's going to be 2-1 in the
scoreboard.
series.
We're just going to see the scoreboard so we can see the stat lines here. But again, I wish I understood how the timer and the live system worked a little bit more on CODM, because it seems a little bit chaotic to me, because even when there are no respawns, I can still see people on the map. But that could just be another thing. It does. Okay, so it does. You have infinite respawns, but once those lives end, that's it. That's where things end. Okay, that does make sense. Anyways, came down to the wire there, and I mean 2-0 up so quickly for the side of Rage Esports there. I really thought they were going to have it in the bag, but at the end, it was that like 1 life clutch from the side of Cast Esports to put them straight back into it, but unable to close it out. Even though they mounted a massive comeback to get back to the 3-2, it was Rage Esports that put their foot down at the last second and said, not today. We're not going to get disrespected, and they were straight back into the game. And I mean, look at these stat lines, right? 30 plus kills across the board for the side of Rage Esports there, except for 1. But I mean, that's crazy, right? That's the kind of things that you need to see from a team that's going to come out on top.
Oh, indeed. I mean, this just goes to show how much the side of Rage really deserve this lead. It really shows that they've come to play. They really are not going to be pushed over by anyone. And this is going to show that these guys are going to be top contenders. They really are the ones to look out for. So honestly, this has just been clinical gameplay that's coming out from the side of Rage Esports. I mean, from their HP to S&D, all the way to their control as well. It's just been clinical gameplay. And I mean, no one can say that they don't deserve this lead.
Absolutely. I mean, that was that battle was fought tooth and nail right to the end, to an absolute nail biter, down to the one. I think it was a 1 versus 4 in the end there, but it doesn't matter. Rage, they come out on top, and I liked the way I saw both of those teams use setups to their abilities, to their advantage, using utility, throwing down stuns, throwing down smokes, cover their lines of sight, get onto the point. And the classic cap cap a point as quickly as possible, throw all your resources, and then focus on the next one. And on the side of defense, for the team that for the rounds that they won, the defense was the ones where they realized, listen, we've chalked up that point now. We don't have to throw any more lives, any more resources towards it. We can get set up and hold off the pushes on the favorable side, and that's exactly what they did. They almost did it for 3 straight rounds, that being Rage Esports, but of course, Cast Esports, they came out hot in that round number 3. But unable to clutch it out in the end. And again, Rage, GG's to you guys. You guys are playing out of your skin. And I think that we're going to have to see a continuation of that momentum in the HP, because at the moment it seems like both teams are firing on all cylinders, and it's going to come down to the wire again.
Indeed. Now, and we are going to be going into a game number 4 now, and that is going to be HP, which is going to be on standoff. So I was going to say, this might be favorable for the side of Rage Esports to win, but again, we did play it on Raid, so this is going to be a different map that we're going to be playing HP on. So it might be a different dynamic, because one, again, different map, different momentum for both sides, because in the beginning it seemed like Rage had more of the momentum. They played extremely well. It seemed like they were awake from the first minute of the game, but it didn't really seem that way for the side of Cast Esports. But now it does seem like they did sort of wake up a bit after a little bit of some wake-up calls here and there, and now they're back into it. So I don't really think we can just call it from the get-go and say who's really going to win this one. So I'm really, really interested to see how this one's going to play out.
Absolutely. I think it's going to come down to sort of like the gunny, and whichever side is going to be a little bit more consistent in that regard, because at the moment both teams are completely frying. And I think that if everyone is frying at the same level, they're just going to walk over their opponents. And I think we saw both sides had at least one player that struggled a little bit. I believe the lowest on the side of Rage Esports was 14, and on the side of Cast was 18, or vice versa. I can't exactly remember. But regardless, when you have all of your players firing on all cylinders, you get your rotations, you get your fundamentals down, push as a team, hold setups, it's going to be your kind of map. As we load straight into standoff, 3 seconds. I am curious to see what the side of Rage has to answer back on this map that we haven't seen yet.
Ooh, I'm so interested for this one. Standoff is a map we have seen before, but rather on LAN, actually, and this is what we saw with S&D. But interesting to see this one for an HP. So let's see what does come out from both of these sides now, as we do see the side of Rage Esports are going to be the first one onto the point. Going to get some points on the board for themselves already, are going to be in the lead. But it does seem like the side of Cast Esports going to also just try and make that entry as well back onto that point now, to try and see if they can secure themselves some points as well. And Blurry will make that rotation into that side, but unfortunately will be cleaned out fairly quickly already. And it does seem like this one is going to be a lot more closer than we than the first game that we saw. So I really, really am interested to see how this one's going to play out already. But now the side of Cast Esports are going to take the lead now, going to be sitting 17, 18. The numbers are going to keep going up the more they sit on that point. So it does seem like now the side of Cast Esports are going to go in the lead with that advantage.
Well, as what is typical with most first hardpoints on most maps, it's a bit chaotic, right? No one really has full control. But having said that, 30 seconds is a good amount of time to have off of it. At 18 seconds, 17 seconds, you saw a rotation come through. And of course, it's going to be Rage Esports who have got set up on the next hill already. But here comes the push from the side of Cast, but they are able to hold off to the best of their ability, that being Rage Esports. And as I say that, I actually eat my words. Shaz in the front gets the break. Panda with a huge 2-piece there, but unable to keep it going, as the spawns are just chaotic. And that's why 5v5 is crazy, because there is always that last player that can make a bit of a crazy push towards the end. And here we go, back into the point, go Rage Esports. But Vector and Panda, just being the absolute dynamic duo, menaces on the sticks as they are holding down that time. Pretty much 10 seconds at this point between the two teams. And as I say that, kills just working out for the side of Rage Esports here. One more push, realistically, from the side of Cast Esports here to see if they can make something happen, and if they can't, they're going to chalk it up, go for a rotation. But as I say that, they do make it work, and the rotation is completely favoured for the side of Rage Esports there, as they have one player already getting set up, getting those spawns for the next heal. But that might come back to bite them, as they gave up a good 15-20 seconds, and that is continuing the lead for Cast Esports.
Indeed, and everyone needs to understand that these points all matter. Every second matters in HP, so that might come back to bite them in the end, but we'll have to see now, as the team of Rage Esports already went next and going for that next point already, so they are trying to secure themselves into this next side. And now we will see Tipsy going to get a kill on that player there. He does spot out a few other players as well. Shots will be flying, will connect on them, will get a 2-piece, but unfortunately will get traded out. But Inda is there to trade that kill out as well. But Apathy and Vector have just been such, you mentioned, they're just such a dynamic duo. They just do so well. They play well off of each other, and they've just been such a well-oiled machine coming into this series. But now we're here with Boogers. Boogers going to be shooting towards Apathy. Unfortunately, isn't able to connect and is going to be taken down. And that is, again, by Vector. And then who else trades that out? Going to be Apathy. Once again, these two are just absolutely tearing it up.
Oh, that was a pretty much perfect hold from the side of Rage Esports there. Full 60, uncontested as they find it. And I wanted to speak a little bit earlier about spawns. We saw two different players in the back holding those spawns in the back left corner there, and they just managed to keep those close spawns. And that was a full 60 as they take the lead by 20 seconds. We go over to the next hill. And unfortunately, they didn't get the rotation, but they're looking to see if they can do exactly what Cast Esports typically does, which is what I call the phase game style, where they just bully their way onto the point. And as of right now, it's going to be Apathy opening with a quick 2-piece. Panda coming in from the top. We get to see a little bit of specialist usage. He finds 2, but is traded out by Purifier of his own. But Panda, he's going to get taken out. It is just Purifier Central. It must smell hideous in there, as eventually coming out on top is going to be the side of Cast Esports, as they are close by. But we get to see everything in the kitchen sink from the side of Rage Esports in terms of specialists, as they break the point wide open off of the back of a claw.
I really love how you worded this. This is sort of that phase push that we're seeing now. We're just seeing them throw the kitchen sink and truck all the way onto the side, trying to bully their way onto the point. That's exactly what they do, and now they're getting those points. The ticks are coming up for them, and they are looking extremely good now as they break that 100-point mark now, and it's looking good for the side of Rage Esports now. It does seem that the side of Cast Esports are looking very, very disjointed at the moment, and it's very tough for them to make it onto this point. And again, it's just looking like a clinical 60 already for the side of Rage Esports, as they're just handling this push extremely well. Booger's going to get cleaned out by Inda, who is going to be on height. And again, Tipsy going to claim a kill on Blurry. The side of Rage Esports are just looking so good on this point.
Well, the previous point was looking really good, but on the other end of things, it is the side of Cast Esports holding strong on our second set of rotations here, as they managed to stop pretty much every push except for that popcorn grenade from Mr. Vector off of a 2-piece. Tipsy there to follow it up, potentially. Not quite. Boogers with a double. He's holding strong for now. The contest is in. But as you can see, look at Mr. Apathy. Look at where he's set up for the next hill. They're opting to chalk up a little bit more time on this point for the rotation, as everyone is just trying to keep the side of Rage Esports completely boxed in on this point. And here we go. Vector in for the contest, allowing them to not get too many points towards that lead, as the rotation should be coming through. But of course, the last man standing for the side of Rage Esports here is going to be Apathy. But unlike the first set of rotations, it is going to be Cast Esports who got there first, and they're looking to get set up. So potentially a bit of a tactical blunder there from Rage Esports, as they allow too much time for this rotation, and spawns now favored for Cast Esports on P2.
Indeed. Now, you mentioned it as well, as that 20 points that they let slip is now coming back to bite them, as now it's going to be just a 2-point gap that separates these two teams now. So it's going to be quite a tough one to close out, because this one seems like it's going to go all the way down to the white. Tiano is going to claim a kill on Vector there, and does seem like now the side of Cast Esports going to get into that point now and are going to claim the lead now. So it's looking very, very good for the side of Rage Esports, as Rage Esports are now going to be the tides are going to turn on the side of Rage Esports, as now the side of Cast Esports going to be on the point and claiming those vital seconds. But as I say that, I eat my words. The side of Rage Esports now going to get onto the point and going to clean out the side of Cast Esports, and now the tides are going to turn, and now it's going to go in favor of Rage Esports now, as the points are ticking up for them. But can't even call what's going on, because everything is just shifting everywhere. Teams and players are just dying left, right, and center.
Crazy set of of trades that came out there, and eventually it's going to be India who comes out on top to find the last little bit of scrap time. As with the battle for spawns is commencing between Apathy and Co. He finds the first, but he's waiting for this hill to pop, but Shaz is the one to take him out. But it's just going to be Shaz and Iris last live here on this point, but they're going to be taken out. It's just Shaz. He has a claw pop that might actually come out to help them in the end. Purifier to the claw. It seems like fire beats, I don't know, scissors. I think that's the closest option we can say with that, as the spawns will eventually flip on out. So a good rotation from the side of Rage Esports here, as they are just trying to hold it down and make sure that they have those close spawns and pick up as much time as possible. More utility usage here. It is going to be Panda, the one to hold it down. The trades are working out. Spawns now close. Rage showing that P3 is their home.
Beautiful plays coming from the side of Rage Esports. And now, as you mentioned, now they do have that close spawn for them, so it is going to be in favor of them. But as I say that now, the spawns have switched, and now it's going to be the side of Cast Esports who have the closest spawn advantage. So now they will be claiming the point. Now Tiana will be holding down the fort, flamethrowing anyone that pulls through into his building. And now they're going to be holding that point, trying to see if they can close the gap with the point lead at the moment. At the moment, Rage is going to be sitting at 177 with Cast sitting on 153 and counting. It does seem that that gap is slowly closing in now, and the next point is slowly going to be revealed soon. And as we do that now, the entry is going to come from Shaz. Unfortunately, will get traded out, and now it is looking like the side of Rage Esports are going to be holding this fairly good at the moment. It doesn't seem like they're going to be toppled very easily, but as I say, that Tipsy going to claim a kill on one player up top. Thus, but Tiana unfortunately will not be able to get the confirmation on that kill, and still again isn't able to get the confirmation. But now it does seem the side of Rage Esports are going to be holding the point, and they're soon going to be breaking that 200 point mark, and it is looking like Rage Esports have the advantage.
Well, they do. They've done a fine job of holding off these pushes one at a time here. It's just Apathy and Co holding the point. Panda was the last one up. He eventually gets taken out. But I mean, a good 40 seconds uncontested there is exactly what you want. They have a good lead. 200 points has been put into the bank as we go to our third set of rotations here. And they're doing the right thing. They're chalking it up. They will still have a bit of a cushion, but they need to hold this next hill, or at least the next two hills, as typically this first hill is a bit of pandemonium. And as of right now, Indo finds that first one, but Shaz, he's there to hold down the fort. He's finding kills left, right, and center. Iris finding some more kills, just working out for the side of Cast Esports, as they might be able to chip away at this lead, as the kills off of the back of Booger and Iris are there, and into the point we go. P1, third set of rotations, 25 seconds between these two teams. It is anyone's game at this point.
Anyone's game indeed, and now we will see some entry plays from these teams now. And now Blurry will go down as he tries to make that entry. Now Panda will get the kill on Blurry, will try to hold down the fort as best as he can, as the point will be going towards the side of Rage Esports, and Rage Esports etching closer and closer towards that 250 point mark. But now we're here with Boogers. Let's see what Cast Esports can do, as they need to make that entry now. As we see, Shaz is going to try and make that entry, is going to get taken down. Iris as well going to get taken down. It seems like now the tides are going to be in anyone's favor at this moment, because no one has the point very definitively. Each team that tries to claim it just gets taken down. We're here with Blurry. Shots will be flying, will connect on those shots finally. And now that is going to be the next spot, as he is going to try and claim next. And let's see who is going to claim the spot now, as Shaz going to try and hold the fort down up top with Blurry. Going to take the player down that does try to push up. Vector going to try to push up as well. Is going to get taken down again. And now it's going to be the side of Cast Esports going to try and hold on the fort on this next point. But it doesn't look like that's going to be possible. But as I say that, they're going to take down any player that pushes through. And now it is looking like the side of Cast Esports have the advantage, as the points are ticking towards them. And they're edging closer and closer towards that 250.
Well, I mean, exactly like you said. So this is a bit of a chaotic hill at the moment for the side of Rage Esports, as they get 3 down. They eventually break the point, and this spawn system is completely chaos. I was going to say they were gifted spawns in the back, that being Cast Esports, because I thought the rotation was well and truly won for the side of Rage Esports there. But as I said, that the point goes through, and you can't actually TK in this game, except Apathy does manage to kill himself, as the contest is there, and it is winnable for either side now, but still lead firmly in place for the side of Cast Esports for a change, as they managed to find a bit of momentum. Utility being used, that was going to say that is the last little bit of specialist being used as we go to our last hill, and we know how good the side of Rage Esports is on P3, third rotation. The entire team is here, close spawn secured. The break has to be perfect, and as well as the hold, because there is only 9 seconds needed for the side of Cast Esports. And here it comes. Through the bottom they go, but they're getting taken out. That's a clean sweep. Time now ticking over. Still completely winnable for the side of Rage Esports. It's all up to Iris, and he can't be single pushing, and that is exactly what he's doing. Wait for your teams, get coordinated, and push on through. But at the moment, a lot of single pushing is the call. They are going to be punished for it. Every single push that you come on your own is going to be answered as Tipsy, Vector, and Indigo back to back. It is just down to Iris. 34 seconds, but as I say, it's just up to Iris. He finds 3. That's enough to flip out the spawns. The players in the hill have to go huge. Here comes the push. They're going to be holding. The contest is there. It's going to be a 3-piece. It's going to be Panda, but he gets taken out. Utility is there. The break is in. It's Tipsy versus Shaz. Inda is there for the backup. Oh my goodness, it is going to be a 249. Inda with the double boogers is there. Contest is still happening. It's anyone's game, but eventually broken for the side of Rage Esports, and I don't think anyone is close enough to get the contest. That is going to be all she wrote, as Rage, off of the back of a complete clincher, closes out 250 to 242.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Regardless of the result of whoever you supported, you just have to appreciate the COD we just watched. Like, that is just the best level of COD that you can experience. I mean, from game number 1 to game number 4, it's just an absolute insane gameplay from both of these teams. Yes, I mean, the side of Cars Esports didn't really come to play in the beginning, but I mean, all the way through to the end, it is just insane, man. I mean, the MVPs on our teams, Panda was going to be the MVP. Panda was played out of his mind this one, and Boogers as well for the side of Cars Esports. But I mean, hats out to the side of Rage Esports. They really came out to play. They toppled one of the favorites to go all the way, and I'm at a loss for words right now.
Hey man, I want to take my hat off specifically for Apathy, man. He had the most kills, and I think something that is not mentioned there, Apathy was absolutely the root man for the side of Rage Esports. He got the rotation 9 times out of 10. The spawns, and I think that was what turned the tide at the end. And eventually it came down to pretty much a nail-biter ending, as these two teams were like headbutting for spawns and around the point. Everything in the kitchen sink was thrown at them, but of course Rage Esports, with the tenacity to show that they can topple the titans that are Cast Esports, as they come out on top here. 3-1, showing that Respawn, they are the complete and utter champions. Well, at least for the first round, as we have another game coming up. We'll have to see how that goes.
Indeed, we still have one more game left, which is going to be, let me get that, Zero Remorse versus EG Destroyers. So that's going to be our next matchup. But for now, that is going to be our game number 1. And honestly, whoo, what a game. But that will be coming to you shortly after this little break that we'll be taking.
I'm 24 years old and I'm from Joburg. So now we can go into the competitive scene and have no excuses, because it's just a smooth game with servers brought into the country.
thumbs up, we signal the start of our next game.
Hey guys, I'm Lucy. I'm one of the co-founders for Carry First, and we're here at the Ivyson Gaming Tournament celebrating Call of Duty mobile activation in South Africa. So we started Carry First 4 years ago because we saw that mobile gaming was massive everywhere in the world, and that we thought mobile gaming would be sort of the best suited way to build a large, meaningful company across Africa. You have like the youngest population in the world, it's fast growing, it's dynamic, it wins in every other cultural sector, whether that's music, art, entertainment, sports, and gaming should be no different. And we thought, this was the time to bring and catalyze mobile gaming across Africa.
And it's been round one, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be shortly with you. Round two coming up.
My name's Cristiano dos Ramos. My gamer tag is Tiano. And yeah, I've been playing Call of Duty Mobile for the last 3 years, and this is the first 5v5 tournament, so I had to make sure that I made a plan to get here today. In South Africa, there are a few esports that you can have a career from. Call of Duty Mobile, not yet, but I'm definitely hoping in the near future. A lot of us are sponsored by certain teams and organizations. Obviously, with the inception of the brand collaborators now with Call of Duty Mobile, it's a blessing for us.
3, 2, 1, and we are underway with our grand final.
I am Tandeka Zili. I came here to play Call of Duty Mobile. I'm a beginner. I don't really play Call of Duty that much. It's just something I do as a hobby. So playing here, I was a bit nervous. The first round, happily I made it, surprisingly. And then second round, I got knocked out. But it's a great experience, to be honest.
I just want to say GG's to all my friends, teammates, competitors. These guys obviously pushed me to be the best player that I could be right now. It's nerve-wracking, especially on stage, the lights, the cameras, the crowd. It's such a vibe.
What's up guys, Nadeem here from Carry First, and today we are at Wits University. The energy has been fantastic. We've got a bunch of students here all playing Call of Duty Mobile. It's exciting, it's fast-paced, it's strategic, and I'm giving away some tickets. So come with me.
My name is Brayson Valaydam. I come from Cape Town originally. I'm studying at Wits. I started playing COD in 2019, close to when the game came out, and I've just been enjoying it ever since. The first time I played on the servers was at Comic-Con Africa 2022, and it was sweet. I played at the COD mobile stands, and it was a nice vibe and stuff. And like you can just see the communities like coming together with the new servers, the world chats, everything is like, it's amazing. It's going really well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stream. You are tuned into the Sub-Saharan African Championship. We have just witnessed game number 1 where the team of Cast Esports took on Rage Esports, and the team of Rage Esports walked away with a 3-1 win. What a series, man. What a series of matches that we witnessed. It was honestly just breathtaking. I think we could say it was much more breathtaking from rather round number 2. But even from round number 1, I mean, we didn't expect such a whitewash to happen. But you know what? These things happen.
Yeah, these things do happen. Like you said, it was some absolute top tier Call of Duty, man, in every facet in terms of HP. The first one, complete blowout. I was not expecting that, but from there it was neck and neck all the way. I mean, it came down to 15-13 in the end in S&D, which is crazy amount of overtime rounds, and then 3-2 in terms of control, and then 250 to 242. The last 3 games were complete nail biters, which was, in my opinion, what the series should have been. And it was at the same caliber of having 5 maps, to be honest with you, because the games, like, that's the thing that's interesting about Call of Duty. It can be a 3-0 in terms of scoreline, but it's not necessarily a reflection of how the games went. I mean, that was a 2-hour game of COD Mobile, right? It went all the way to, like... It felt like the SD alone was about half an hour of just continuously talking. I mean, that's cool for us, but it's crazy for the players. And I mean, I can't imagine how draining that was. And of course, with load shedding looming, everyone's like, we got to get this stuff done as quickly as possible. So, but GG's to the side of Rage Esports as they came out on top, and they are just a fantastic side of COD Mobile, to be honest with you.
Indeed. I mean, just to touch on that quickly. I mean, one thing guys don't realize is you look at the scores, like, 3-1, you know, they might have dominated them, but it doesn't really reflect the true status of how the game actually turned out. You don't really see how close that S&D game was just from that 3-1 score. You don't really see how close the control was just from that 3-1 score. You know, there's a lot that you can actually tell just behind the scenes from all of it. But you know what? You know, that happened. That's in the past. But now, as you saw on screen, the next game that is going to be happening is going to be the team of Zero Remorse versus EG Destroyers, and I'm interested to see this one play out because 2 teams that I haven't really seen too much of, but you know, I really love to see these teams surprise me, so I'm really keen to see how this one does play out.
Yeah, myself, I don't know, like I said, I don't know much going into the scene at all, so this is completely uncharted waters for me. And if it's anything like the previous game, it's going to be an absolute blast to cast, and it's going to be a blast for the viewers. I'm curious to see what's happening. If we could get an ETA on how long we're going to be before loading in. Okay, we are waiting for one player to ready up, and then we'll be going into a map number 1, which is going to be Raid. So we know the tried, true, and tested map, as we'll be going for HP on there. And I'm curious to see if either of these teams are going to be doing what Rage and Cast did, because we got to see 2 really different playstyles, from the sense of super coordinated holding pushes from Rage to the sort of chaotic phase style of gameplay from the side of Cast Esports, where they absolutely try to bully their way into points and then see if they can play off of momentum that way. And I think when those 2 clash, it always makes for an entertaining game. And I wonder how these 2 teams are going to be matching up as we speak.
Indeed, yeah, and I'm really intrigued to see if we might actually see some, you know, fire and ice type of matchup that again in this one, because as you mentioned, you know, that's just a perfect analogy of what we witnessed. You know, there was sort of fire and ice in that previous match where these guys were just complete polar opposites of each other. You know, it's sort of like in a fight. You know, there's the one guy who's, you know, he's orthodox, he just does everything traditionally. And there's the other guy who's just like, you know, unorthodox. He just does whatever works for him. And I think that's what happened for the side of Cast Esports. You know, for them, it didn't really seem like they went traditional or by the book. You know, it sort of seemed like they did what worked for them. And I think that really was what played for such a great match, is that, you know, we had such orthodox gameplay and some unorthodox gameplay, because even towards the end of that last game, or towards the end of that HP, you were mentioning, you know, why aren't these guys, you know, waiting for each other to push as a team? We rather just saw these guys, you know, just guns blazing in there, trying to go in like Rambo, trying to take each other out. So I think if we see something like that again in this match, it might play out for a good one.
Absolutely. But enough about the past. We are here in the present as we load into game number 2, or match number 2, HP on... Oh, well, HP on Raid. Hello, is everyone in? Are we Are things happening or people unhappy with the host? Oh, no, here we go. Loading in, 12 seconds. That was an interesting turn of events there, as we'll be seeing it. The side of... which is, I don't actually know the names of these teams. Excuse me, could you fill us in here?
I will give you that info just now in a second. So, the side of...
Okay, so we have blue and zero, red in EG, or I suppose yellow in EG. A Sensei from the side of zero start things out, and it seems like blue is the favorite color as they are simply cutting down EG every left, right, and center as time is ticking over for Zero Esports.
Indeed, now...
Zero Remorse, not Esports, my bad.
Now it does seem like the side of Zero Remorse are going to gain the advantage now, as they will be getting some points on the board for themselves. Going to be sitting with 26 and counting, so it does seem like they have the upper hand in this one, and it does look like they're looking fairly well in the beginning of this one. But it does seem like the side of EG Destroyers are going to be putting up a fight as well, trying to get some points on the board for themselves as well. And it does seem like this is going to be an evenly contested one now, as it does seem like both teams are sort of trading each other out any chance they get. So it doesn't seem like there is any definitive answer of who has the most domination in this one. So gonna have to see how this one does play out. It does seem like the side of EG Destroyers are going to go on next point, trying to capture it. And now it does seem like they have captured it already. And now the side of Zero Remorse are going to have to play retake.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, spawns, again, in favor for the side of zero here, as they managed to keep those close spawns off the back of the rotation. And they're straight back into it here. Here come the pushes from the side of EG through the front. And it's going to be Sensei. Every man I turn to there, it's going to be Sensei. 8 kills to his name. He's just trying to do everything he can for his team. And he's doing a fine job at that. His instinct is there to trade about. And that is a great start there from the side of Zero Remorse. And I think that's been pretty much their game plan here, as they find the first bit of time pretty much consistently here, as we see the rotation coming through. Of course, Chaos versus a Mr. I can't tell who that is because they're busy shooting, but it doesn't matter. The initial spawn fight has been won by Zero Remorse here. So again, the rotation is pretty much clinical for them, as they're going to get set up on the next hill already. And like you said, orthodox gameplay here. These guys have got their fundamentals down, man. They're getting from one point to the next and getting those kills, keeping those spawns, finding the first bit of time.
Indeed, and it does seem like we have found our orthodox type of team. So let's see what actually does come out from the side of EG Destroyers now, because it does seem like it doesn't seem like there's a bit of coordination at the moment. It does seem like the guys are just everywhere at the moment, and the side of Zero Remorse are just showing no remorse whatsoever and punishing these players now, as they're just going to get absolutely farmed on this point now. There's one player that's left on that point now and is now going to get cleaned out, and now the points are going to be all for the side of Zero Remorse. But the side of EG Destroyers are going to try and push onto point now, try to see if they can get themselves onto that board and try and get more points for themselves as well. We'll see a streak come through and get a double kill for the side of Sensei. Sensei is literally just throwing everything at these guys, any chance he gets, but unfortunately will get taken down by Zahid. Zahid now will claim point with his teammate, but unfortunately Guava will take him down, so it's going to be a 1v1 contest on this point now. Make that a 2v1, make that a 2v0 as they claim that point.
To say, man, this Zero Remorse side is very, very good at their rotations. They've got the spawns for the next hill as well. And I was going to say, even though they got their rotations down, they don't manage to find that much time. 20 points between these 2 seconds for the amount of time that they get on their rotations, and they focus on the spawns. They don't get a lot of time over that. I mean, here you go. Steez all the way through, getting quick double kills. Pops his specialist. I think he might be able to keep that. Actually not. So he popped that at the worst time. Is not going to be useful for his team at all. And for a change, it looks like even though the rotation was there, the side of Zero Remorse completely set up in the point, getting a good amount of time now, looking to eclipse the 100-point mark, and maybe some specialist usage on the horizon here.
Indeed, now, and might be seeing that, I don't know if we might be seeing a 100-point club, but we'll have to see if we do see another one in the second game mode. But now, it does seem like the side of EG Destroyer is going to try and make their entry through onto site now. Argan with that specialist, claiming a kill there, trying to get another kill on the other player that's pulling through. Will he be able to clutch it? Unfortunately not, and will get taken down by Sensei and Chaos. Chaos now going to try and make their entry onto that point now. They do make that entry, and now they're going to have to contest the player that is going to be on it, but a nade, a streak takes them down. Beautiful, beautiful shots coming out from the side, and beautiful streak coming out from the side of Zero Remorse as well. And it looks like they're doing extremely well as they make that rotate onto that next point, and they are ready once again. And you just mentioned it, their rotates have just been so efficient for them.
Well, I was going to say so efficient, but indeed, at the moment, it looks like EG are the boys that have been a little bit more efficient as they are onto the point, got the rotation, and picked up the majority of time on the previous hill. So, a little bit of a 4-streak usage from the side of Sensei there as he has to try to get as little pressure on the hill as possible from the side of EG as they try to get a collapse coming through here. But the kill feed has been nothing but red or orange, whatever this color is, as EG is just really flipped to switch here and they're taking over this map. Sort of how Cast Esports did, but they didn't wait for the second map. These guys are trying to do it from map number 1 as they've taken the lead for the first time in this HP.
Indeed, and it doesn't seem like we'll have to wait till around number 4 for these guys to switch on, as they're going to be in it to win it from game number 1 now, and we'll see the side of Zero Remorse try to make entry, but Argon will take the player down, but will get traded out now as the side of Zero Remorse are going to try and make that rotation onto that point and try get some points on the board for themselves, as they have been stagnant on that 108, so it's not looking good for them. They have to try and get some points on the board for themselves now, as now next point is going to be revealed, and the side of EG Destroyers are already going to be on that point, claiming them all. And now we will see Instinct try to make entry now. Astros will take him down. Sensei here sitting with the Annihilator. Let's see what he's able to come out with. Does get 1 kill on the player. Can he get another? Unfortunately not, but he will try and see if he can spot another player out. Shots will fly, but unfortunately will not be able to connect. But the side of EG Destroyers are looking extremely good thus far, as they've been able to make the rotations rather that the side of Zero Remorse have been making, and they've been doing extremely well to get that working for them, as they're going to be sitting at 149. Just need 100 more points to claim the win for this first round, but doesn't seem like they're going to make it any easier for them, as the team of Zero Remorse going to make their way onto that point and try to claim those points for themselves.
I mean, they break in with about 15 seconds. It's a bit of a condolence thing. There's 30 points between these two teams. But I mean, it seems like the second set of rotations have been flipped on their head. It looks like EG is here first, get those close spawns for pretty much 1 second as Zero Remorse gets around the back, starts getting the kills. And just from a stat line, in terms of kills, it is actually mind-boggling for me that the side of EG has got the lead here, because in terms of kills, they are really, really struggling. As everyone except for I believe it's Mr. Zahid that is actually doing well. On the side of Special Forces, Zero Remorse, it's all eyes on Sensei. Man's already got 29 kills. He's absolutely going off for this team, and he's just waiting for his teammates to pick up his slack, but no one really playing the point. I think that's a big point that I need to talk about here. What you tend to see with these top-tier teams is it becomes a game of TDM rather than playing hard point. As you can see here, I mean, 30 kills for the side of Sensei, but what is his hill time like? Man has just been actively avoiding the hill to look for these kills. I mean, it's working out, but he needs to find some time on the point. Otherwise, this lead is just going to continue to develop for the side of not for Zero Remorse, for EG, sorry.
Yeah, indeed. It really just does seem like it's become a sort of team deathmatch type style of game, because we're not really seeing these guys play for points. And even if they try to, it's sort of for the next one. They're not playing for the current point. It seems as if they're not really trying to contest once the team has got the point. And it's not playing to their favor, because the side of EG Destroyers is just edging closer and closer towards that 200 point mark, and eventually 250. So they need to start making these plays, making those entries, play for those points, and try to get some on the board for themselves. And as I say that now, they're trying to make that entry, but it's just not working out for them. They're just getting traded out. And once again, I think we're starting to see that unorthodox gameplay where these guys are just pushing in one by one and just getting farmed up. Aegon just gonna farm up every single person that has pulled through in that corridor, and no one has been able to make it through. The streak will come through, but unfortunately no kills we found. Does spot on another player, unfortunately will not be able to get the confirmation on that kill, but now we'll get the confirmation, and it just seems like the team of EG Destroyers are absolutely destroying the side of Zero Forces as they break the 200 point mark.
No, I was going to say, it really feels that the side of Zero have like flicked off a switch, as they're not playing their structured gameplay at all. Everyone's panicking, everyone's flying as quickly as they can towards the point. They have a little bit of streaks to help them out here, but the rotation, so sloppy. That is the most chaotic spawn I have ever seen in my life. There is no way that Steez got gifted that spawn there. He just spawned in amongst the entire side of Zero there, and that turned the tide. Much like how Chaos just spawned for Zero, there seems to be no rhyme or reason towards these close spawns here, as it's just pandemonium and down pretty much 70 points now between these two sides. And for the side of EG here, they just need to keep getting close to the point and playing off of those trades. And once they get the setup, it's Zero. They are just getting punished at every turn. Chaos using a little bit of a streak there, but it's not going to help him out, as eventually he is taken out of the hill. And with 25 seconds, if I was in the shoes of EG here, I'd just rotate, get set up on the next hill, and make a point. Or just simply bully your way into the point and send players on the rotation.
Indeed, yeah, it just does not look like the side of Zero Remorse have any grip on this game whatsoever. So it does seem like now we will be seeing a rotation coming out from the players to that next point, just to try and get themselves a grip back into this game, because the side of EG Destroyers literally just need 13 more seconds and they've won this first round. So they need to try and hold this as best as they can to try and get themselves back into contention for winning this round. But it doesn't seem like the side of EG Destroyers are going to lay down and cry for them. They want this round. They want this map. They're going to try and make that entry onto that point. But it does seem like the side of COD Esports are going to make it very, very difficult for that to happen. But now, the side of EG Destroyers have gotten to the point now. 5 more seconds, 4 more seconds, and it is looking like it's going to be a win for the side of EG Destroyers. And that is going to be...
1 second, it's not done.
One more second here. 1 more second left on the board, and the side of Zero Remorse have got onto the point now, and they are getting those valuable points that are needed for them to get back into contention for this one. It's going to be sitting at 249 for the side of EG Destroyers, and the side of Zero Remorse are just getting those points and tallying them up to get to 200 now, as they're going to edge closer and closer to closing this gap.
Well, it's coming down to a 1v1 on the previous side as we go to these rotations, and it looks like the side of EG suddenly decided to play the game mode and not TDM, as they are sending players over to get these kills, get the rotations, you name it. But again, only 1 kill needed for the side of... Wow, EG here, but it doesn't matter. Sensei absolutely going off, 42 to his name. Man is trying to do it all, and he's actually playing a little bit of point here, as it seems that they are back into this game, and he's holding it down here with the Annihilator, finding kill after kill, looking for some streaks, as we might be seeing the 249 comeback on the horizon here, as it has been nothing but blue in the kill feed for the past 20 seconds. Streaks now being called in. This is what you want to see from EG. Bit of coordinated gameplay, streaks being used. 20 seconds needed now for them to take the W. One more player needs to make this kill here, but it's not coming through. The trades are not working out. It is still completely winnable for the side of EG. They need one good push. But having said that, look at the use of those streaks. That's going to deny players onto the point. It is going to be all she wrote.
There is no way. There is no way they make this comeback. All they need is 3 more seconds, 2 more seconds, 1 more second, and it's going to be a win. No way. No way.
No shot.
There is no way we just witnessed that. There is chart.
That was 249 to 180. Just so everyone's aware. That was the comeback. 249 to 180, and they make that comeback. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm calling out every single person on the roster of Zero Remorse there. If you had played the point like you did at the start, that would have been the game much quicker. But unfortunately, it was a game of TDM there towards the midway. That's just not where it's at, man. You got guys who play their advantage and see what happens when you play coordinated as a team. On the point, you get wins like that. It's crazy.
There's no way.
Hate to see that, man.
You cannot write this. You truly cannot write this. There is no way. They sat at 180 to 249 and they closed that out. That is unbelievable. And you have to call them out, rightfully so. There's no way you let them claim all those points while sitting on 249 and you didn't play for points. That honestly, I'm not a loss. I don't even know what to say. I genuinely do not know what to say.
I think Zero just came out. They pulled it out of the hat at the end there. That was fantastic. They held the last 30 seconds of P4, or P5, excuse me, of the first set of rotations. and they just managed to cinch it up on P1 in the third set of rotations. It was crazy, right? So, but again, it just came down to the fact that they started playing the point. It was very, very clear that they got their rotations down early, and then it just sort of disintegrated, and it was just EG all over the place. 249 contested the last second, came down to a 1 versus 1, won by, I believe it was Sensei that actually clutched up there in the end to secure them the point before he rotated over towards P1 again, and it just came down to the wire, and it came down to a bit of utility usage. The fact that there's no TKing in this game, put streaks on yourself, no one can push the point. That's a free 5 seconds, and just like that, the comeback was on 180 to 249 on the return to close out the game. Game number 1 going the way of Zero Remorse there, 250 to 249. I don't think it gets much closer than that. That's unbelievable.
Honestly, it's unbelievable. I think the last time I saw this happen was, I believe, against the teams of GHC and Nixon. That was in COD Vanguard, where for the first time I saw a 250 and 249 in a HP, and that was just unbelievable. And to see this happen again is like, it's just insane, because as you said, it just doesn't get any closer than this. It really
Absolutely
does not. And honestly, hats off to Sensei. He has to be the MVP at this point, because it literally has to be because of him that they claimed that round. I mean, he clutched it out. He held that point to the best of his ability.
With the Annihilator, absolutely.
With the Annihilator, then he put the streak on himself to stop them from pushing on, even though he got taken out, and still they were able to clutch it out. So honestly, Sensei, your team had to be giving you a pat on the back for that one.
Absolutely, a one-man army, some might say. And I didn't see the time in terms of time on the point, but I'm curious, but it doesn't matter. For now, it seems like we're going to have to put that map behind us. And if you're in the shoes of EG here, you're going to be a little bit calmer. You got to get into the sport. You got to get into your comms, get everyone down, calm them, and say, listen, game number 1 didn't go away. A little bit of a choke. Take it on the chin. S&D, completely different game mode, and you can get your teamwork down to a T. You will take it over completely. But having said that, if the side of Zero Remorse can do something like that and clutch it up in the last 20 seconds, or it's actually less than that, so 60 seconds, 70 seconds, it took them to there. Oh, wow, that's actually crazy. I just did the maths. They held the point for 70 seconds continuously between 2 HPs. And remember, you only get 60 seconds on a hard point, right?
Yeah.
So they held that perfectly for 2 hard points just about in a row. As, in terms of a great start, not the greatest start there for the side of EG, but they can certainly bring it back as we go over to firing range. Or not firing range, sorry, a studio for our game number 2, S&D.
I really don't even know what to expect from this one, because, you sort of look at HP and that's where you sort of gauge on who has the more momentum or who's going to do better. But I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell who has more
reset.
advantage, and I think we might be having a reset.
I believe a reset is coming through. So continue, sir.
Yeah, it doesn't
continue train of thought
with that. But yeah, I was saying, like, going into this S&D, you sort of, you gauge on who would have more of an upper hand or who would have more advantage or more momentum going into the S&D from that HP. But coming out of an HP where it goes 250 to 249, I don't think it's really definitive to say who's the one to take the S&D.
But it was a 249 comeback. So, I mean, if you in Zero Remorse's shoes, you on a high, man. You're like, wow. You got, like, if I was in the comms, I'd be like, wow, they really choked that, guys. Like, that was unfortunate. 1 second. You can't find 1 second. That's it. Out of 80 seconds, you couldn't find one. That's just unfortunate. But
it tends to happen, okay? I mean, it happens, sometimes you just
that is the third one out of 4 years of casting COD. That's the third one I've ever seen. 4 years of casting COD. Third one.
Oh my god! Like
that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. That is crazy. That's just unfortunate for the side of EG, man. I got no words.
Oh gosh, like that's the thing. Like, look, EG, I'm trying to help you guys out here, man.
Yeah.
It's so hard to defend it. Like, there's no way you on, because you mentioned, how do you let them get a perfect point and still get to another one and do that exact same thing? Like, that's just, you can't let that happen.
That's just chaos.
You really can't. But you know, it happened. But once again, if you're tuned in, this is the Sub-Saharan African Championship COD Mobile Edition. And if you guys want to know what is going on, it is an invitational. We've invited 8 teams in the Sub-Saharan African region to compete in this event. They are competing for 11,000 Rand, 11K on the board. And here is the breakdown if you'd like to know what it looks like. First place is going to be 5,000 Rand. Second place can be 3,000 Rand. Third place can be 2,000 Rand. And our MVP of the tournament, or rather this series, is going to receive 1,000 Rand for themselves.
So a lot of money up for grabs as we load in, hopefully for the last time on studio, as we get to see how things happen here.
Indeed, now we are going to be switched over to the side of EG Destroyers, I believe. And let's see what does come up from their side now. Let's see if they are able to do a lot better and maybe potentially get a score on the board for themselves. But we will see an opening kill on the side of EG Destroyers. It could be put in a 5v4 situation now for the side of Zero Remorse, and that is going to be a trade out. At least going to be a 4v3 situation now. Bomb will go down, and EG Destroyers at least now just need to try and play for that post plant.
Absolutely, but they have a pretty good setup here. They can cover all angles and they have that life advantage. So if it comes down to a set of trades, they will be coming out on top. But here we go. Chaos, slow and steady, wins the race as he's working his way on through. Instinct, on the other hand, trying to find a fight with Aegon. But unfortunately, no one really actively challenging here. As it's just a little bit of a shoulder churling and getting as much information as possible. As I said, that Chaos takes out Rogue 3 versus 3 and he gets away with his life. So that's a good start. But the trade is immediate as it eventually goes back in favor for the side of EG's Destroyers. Steez takes out Chaos. 9 seconds. No more time for the defuse. And of course, it's going to be Lana who knows that. Gets away. And that will be the first round going the way of EG Destroyers.
Beautiful, beautiful gameplay coming up from the side of EG. Seemed like they played that really, really well. Got the plant down, played the post plant extremely well. They did have the man advantage, but they still played it extremely well. Held it to the best of their ability and played out to their advantage. They get one score on the board for themselves. And this is the first to 7. But if they are tied, it does go into an overtime, and I'm hoping we do not see the overtime we saw in
Yeah.
one.
Not a grinder like that. That is we're gonna be here all night, man. 12 a.m. casting. Hate to see that. But as of right now, Sensei with the pixel angles, waiting to see if he can find that first pick as the bomb slowly working its way over, but it's gonna be straight into the teeth of Sensei, and Chaos on the other end finding another one. Aegon bites the dust, and all of a sudden it's going to be a 3 versus 5. Ooh, never mind. A 2 versus 4, as it looks like the side of not Zero Destroyers, EG. Zero Remorse. Goodness, I'm tired now. Has lost a player. It's a 4 versus 5.
Indeed. Now the side of Zero Remorse do have that 3-man advantage, well, 2-man advantage rather, and now it is left to Zahid to try and see what he can do. Does have that sniper in hand, and now we'll switch out to the Krieg 6 to try and see if we can make something out of this round. He does still have time to get that bomb down, so he needs to either try to get it down or try and take out all the players, but it is going to prove very, very difficult for him to do that. But we will see a sneaky rotate coming through from him, and he will take down Sensei, blindsiding him, and now it's going to be a 2v1 situation now, where Zahid needs to try and either get that bomb down or take down these last 2 players. It's going to be Die Hard and Instinct on the side of Zero Remorse. The last ones left on the side of Zero Remorse to try and clutch this one out for them to get 1 on the board for themselves. Shots will be flying, and Instinct will take down Zahid to get it 1 on the board for the side of Zero Remorse. It's going to be 1-1 in the series.
Well, I didn't realize that there's actually a full man disadvantage for the side of Zero here to start us off. As they don't have a player in the lobby, but it doesn't matter. We carry on, as it seems that in the typical South African style, as the bomb going straight over towards B, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be teeth and nade from Sensei, evening it up at 4 apiece.
Indeed. Now it's going to be a 4v4 situation now. Even playing field. Let's see what does come out from this. I think rather whoever gets the advantage now really is going to be the one to sort of be favorable to win the round, because it seems like anytime one of these teams have had that man advantage, it hasn't dropped for them. So we'll have to see how this does play out. Aegon does spot out one of the players. Shots will be flying, will take down Instinct. Now they have sights. The bomb will be going down now as Aegon's going to put it down. Oh, rather he cancels. Oh, is going to put it down now, and now it's going to be a 4v3 situation now as the team. Oh.
Denied. Sensei stopped that bomb plant. That is so crucial. That is a huge play there. Now a minute to work with. 3 versus 3, excuse me. That couldn't have come at a more crucial point to deny that plant, and I think he should have stuck it initially, and that would have been that the bomb would have gone down. But now 1 versus 3 for Mr. Rogue to clutch on up.
Indeed, now it does seem like a push will come through, and one of the players will get taken down. Now it's going to be Rogue, left in a 2v1 situation, sorry. And now Sensei is going to blindside him, and that's going to be 2 rounds on the board for the side of the Remorse.
Well, even with a player down, it doesn't seem to matter when you have Sensei on your side, as he is currently 5 and carry, as he is doing the Lord's work. Nade, sniper, you name it. He just seems to find those crucial kills, and they are going to continue to come through. Maybe he finds another pop one to start off the round. As of right now, that is not the case, as the bomb whiffling its way over towards B.
Indeed, and it just seems he's just been so deadly with that Q33, but now it does seem like a smoke will come through in mid. A push may be coming through from these players now. Shots will be flying. Chaos! 3 down! Oh my goodness, Chaos on an absolute tear. We'll take 3 players down. Now it's going to be a 1v2 situation. That's going to be a quick round for the side of Zero Remorse. That's going to be 4 on the board for them. Oh,
3. Okay, so update is the side of Zero's 5th player has lost Wi-Fi, so he is trying his best to get that back on, and then he'll be back in as soon as possible. But it doesn't seem like his teammates need him, as they are finding these rounds thick and fast. And I mean, Chaos simply taking the lead at 8 kills to his name, finding that 3-piece, simply turning the tide as we go over now. And you can see that sort of rattled the cage a little bit here for the side of EG, as they seem to be dropping again with these first bloods. But again, refrain. They are scared to push as Diehard taking out Aegon. Diehard finding another. It's just lambs to the slaughter as Zero, even a player down, are a force to be reckoned with.
I mean, when you think about it, would you want to push this when each time you just peek out, you're just getting taken out like that? Ooh. Like, what? Any chance they get to peek out, they're done for. And it doesn't matter that they have 4 men in this lobby. They're just absolutely tearing up the side of EG Destroyers. It's men against boys at this point.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, Chaos and Sensei just keeping it real themselves. Between the two of them, they have a total of 16 kills. That doesn't happen generally in an SD. And here come the shots again. Chaos almost finding another one. Man has got his shot down to the pixels, as he tags up the players and isn't able to actually stop this bomb plant. But Steve's walking through the mid-map now to see if he can find a quick pick. As of right now, bomb down, retake is on, 5 versus 4. So for the first time, it seems like advantage for the side of EG, as Steez finds a quick 2-piece.
Indeed, now it's going to be a 5v1 situation, and it's looking like it's going to be heavily favored for the side of EG Destroyers, and EG Destroyers finally break that momentum and get it around on the board for themselves. Woo!
Well, I mean, finally, change of pace. They're going to be on defense now. Let's see if they can do exactly what Sensei did.
Indeed, now we'll have to see what does come out from them, as the side of Zero also going to be on attacking instead now. Let's see what they are able to pull from this. We'll have to see if they are able to hold them down the way Zero Remorse did, because the way they did it, it wasn't in a way that they were so frantic. You know, they played for picks, took out players, and once they saw that they had that advantage, they sort of started playing sort of a bit more aggressive, not too aggressive, but in a way that it played to their advantage. So let's see if that does play again into their advantage in this one, but it doesn't seem so now, as the side of EG Destroyers with the man advantage. It's going to be a 1v4 situation, and it's going to be favored to go the side of EG Destroyers, and indeed it will. 4-3 on the board now.
Well, it seems like EG has sort of woken up a little bit here. They're using that man advantage more effectively. They're not single pushing, and they're not getting cut down to 3 pieces or 4 pieces. They are managing to cut down the more devastating players on the side of Zero as quickly as possible. As you can see, Sensei trying to find a quick pick here. Unable to do so, but Chaos and... Oh, I was going to say Chaos and Sensei are the man to watch, but his instincts get taken out. And again, 3 versus 5. Just being that player down to start off the round is not ideal, as they seem to be being punished for it now on attack, as they can't quite get out of their spawn.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like they've been able to play out of that spawn. They really have been getting caught out multiple times from range as well. And it's just looking very rough for them to even just get onto site. I don't even think they've been able to get onto site in any of these rounds thus far. So I think now that man down advantage, that man down disadvantage is starting to play in effect now, as they don't really have anyone to sort of anchor them. They don't have anyone to push onto site, or rather anchor them down from behind, or any hold any rotates coming through. So they're just getting picked apart one by one. And now, as I say that, 2 players get taken down. Yet another one is taken down, but that's going to be on the side of Zero Remorse. And now EG Destroyers looking good as they're getting some kills on the board, but now it's going to be a 2v1 situation as the side of Zero Remorse going to be taken down. That's going to be a round on the board for EG Destroyers. That's going to be 4-4 in total on the board.
It was three rounds for EG in a row there. They're managing to mount this comeback quite substantially. And it seems like a bit of a stall has been hit for the side of Zero Remorse, as they haven't been able to pick anything up, as they haven't even been able to get the bomb down. They're trying their best to work on forwards, but it seems like defense in S&D is just so insanely favored. But as I say, that instinct with a quick little chow, slide, cancel, you name it, man is in, getting the kills, evening it up at 4 apiece. But it's crazy to me that the first blood is to even the score. Now they need to get this bomb down. But of course, they have that player, that being number 4, Astros, looking to deny that plant. But will he be able to do it, is the question, and the answer is no, as Diehard will be able to get that bomb down.
That is the first plant that is going to happen on the side of Zero Remorse. Now they finally got that bomb down. Zahid will make entry onto the site now. We'll take one down. We'll get traded out on the side of Diehard, but Diehard will also get traded out now. It's going to be a 1v2 situation. Astros versus Chaos and Zahid. Astros going to take down, Chaos going to take down Astros. Now it's going to be a 1v1 situation. Zahid versus Chaos. Who's going to win it? That's going to be Chaos to clutch the 1v2 situation. That's going to be a first round on the side of attacking for Zero Remorse.
Zero Remorse with a nice post-plant sort of hold, and I like what Chaos did there is when he chilled out the first time in the 1 versus 2, he killed the person defusing, which is exactly what you need to do, and then he chilled out a second time, which could have been ego, but it doesn't matter. It was perfectly executed, and even with the man down, they still managed to find something on attack, and that is something that the side of EG can't say that they did.
Indeed. So it does seem like they're now starting to find a way around the disadvantage that they have, and it's starting to play well for them. So let's see if they are able to close out and get more rounds on the board. All they need is 2 more to close this one out to make it a clean 2-0 for their side. But it does seem like now there is going to be a lot more slow-paced gameplay. We haven't seen a first blood as of yet, so it does seem like now the side of Zero Remorse are going to try to play it a bit slower. I think one of them might have got caught out, and yes, he will. Instinct going to get taken down by Steez, and it seems Sensei actually might be AFK in spawn, unfortunately, and now it might just be down to a 4v2 situation, and Sensei is going to get spotted out now. Unfortunately, he was AFK, and Steez is going to claim that kill. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 4v2 situation now. Let's see if Chaos is able to pull it out again. Shots will fly. Unfortunately, isn't able to connect fully on that one, and will get taken down. It's going to be a 4v1 situation now. It's just going to be left to Die Hard. It is not looking good.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a pretty unfortunate turn of events there. Sensei goes AFK, and he's a pretty crucial player, if we're being honest, and without his presence on the map, it's quite difficult. Hopefully he's not being, or he's not lagging out here. No, he's back in the game. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he had to have a sip of water to give his opponents a time to breathe, as it's 5 apiece now, going over towards B to see if they can get this bomb down.
Indeed, now we're switching over to Zahid here, who is going to be trying to hold site now. Is going to be holding that push from their spawn towards B site, and does seem like he's going to hold it well. But as I say, that now is going to get taken down, but is going to get traded out by Rogue, and Rogue will just make his getaway as he does get that trade out. We'll try and see if we can get yet another one. Unfortunately, not. We'll slide through it, and he will get the kill, but will get traded out. Steez going to get taken out by Center with that beautiful quick scope.
2 versus 2 now, working down towards some trades. And there was a bit of a 2-piece that worked out there for the side of Zero, luckily. But even with that man down, these guys just managed to make it work. They have to pick up that bomb, though, which is a bit of an awkward spot. They don't know where these players are. They need a bit of info before they decide where they're going to try to plant it. But Astros with that sniper looking over towards B to see if he can deny the plant. But here we go. Movement beginning to develop as they have to pick up this bomb with Instinct and Sensei. Bomb now picked up. They have to get it down. And of course, no one's going to be able to check these long angles other than Sensei with that sniper in hand. I mean, 12 and 10 for Chaos. Again, these guys are just doing it all for their team, man.
They honestly are. I mean, the fact that they even have a higher kill count than the opposing team or opposing players, it really just goes to show how crucial they are in the
Very clever. Plant, go on and plant. Here comes the push though. That's the bait, but they waited a little bit longer on the push there. It's going to be Sensei who takes out Aegon. 1 versus 1. Sensei has an SMG in hand. He knows where one of the players is, but if you are in I believe it's Astro's shoes, you just get the hell out of dodge. That's exactly what he's going to do. He has to go get this bomb down, and Astros knows it.
Not too sure what's going to happen from this one. It doesn't seem like he will try to go for the plant. Does seem like he will try to go for the plant now. The plant will be coming out. Astros does hear the plant coming down. He is going to push side.
Not enough time.
Unfortunately, there's not enough time. That's going to be a round for the side of EG Destroyers. And they almost played that so well with that smoke.
Yeah, I think that a bit of a critique that can come out there, you have the utility like a smoke. There is no ways that anyone can get you within 5 seconds, even where they were. Throw that smoke, get the bomb down. That would have turned the tides, because then all Sensei had to do was play his life there. It wasn't quite how it worked out, but it doesn't matter. Aegon getting aggressive now on the left-hand side of the map here, but it doesn't matter. First blood about to come on through, and of course it's going to be Aegon with a little bit of a flick there as Chaos evens it up at 4 apiece, and the bomb should be working towards A to get planted, and that is a fantastic start to the round here for the side of Zero, as they are opting to force the overtime.
Oh, no. Here we go again. Now, Instinct going to be spraying down sides. Let's see what does come out from the side of Zero Remorse. Let's see if they are able to push through to an overtime. It's going to be a 4v2 situation. Now, it's going to be left to Rogue and Zahid to clutch it off the side of EG Destroyers. Zahid is going to be able to take down Instinct. That's going to be a 2v2 situation. All of a sudden, the tides have turned, and now it's going to be an even playing field. Let's see who's able to close this one out now, as Rogue and Zahid are left to clutch it out against Die Hard and the carry man himself, Sensei. It's going to get taken down by a nade. And that's going to be Rogue taking out Sensei. It's going to be a 2v1 situation. And that's going to be game.
No, they don't have enough time to defuse. What?
They got it.
Is it a 5-second plant and defuse in this game?
Oh.
Oh, my word.
Goodness.
That was, again, that's crazy. Regardless, like 0.1 of a second clutch there from the side of EG to close it out 5-7. The fact that it went to 5-7 in a 5 versus 4 just is a testament to the absolute caliber coming out of the side of Zero there. But regardless, that is just how the cookie crumbles, as it is now 1 apiece for both of these sides.
Indeed. Now, at least I didn't see that overtime coming through, but it does seem like we might be seeing a lot more maps coming through, as we're going to be going to our map number 3, and right off that are going to have to go to our map number 4. But next map is going to be, our next round is going to be Control, and I believe that is going to be on Firing Range.
No, I don't think. Methinks Raid. Oh, Slums, what a classic. Okay, I like some Slums gameplay. Man, this whole ins and outs of CODM is a bit of a learning curve for me, because typically in competitive rule set it's 7.5 defuse time and a 5-second plant, not the same time, and that allows for a little bit more room to play around. But regardless, it went the way of EG Destroyers, and I would go ahead and say by the skin of their teeth, because in a 5v5 situation I don't think it would have gone their way. I think the fact that Zero Remorse managed to stay alive and almost force the overtime in a 4 versus 5 would have been a very, very different outcome if it was a full roster. But regardless, that is how it played out. That was the hand they were dealt. And here we are, 1 apiece. So we have at the very least Control and a hardpoint up for grabs in the very near future.
Indeed. So I'm quite excited to see how this one is going to be playing out. We'll be loading in shortly. But, you know, what do you expect from this next one? I mean, I think we've sort of seen a little bit from the teams, just to kind of give a testament of to what we may be seeing in the next one. And I mean, you touched on it earlier, it's the fact that this team of Zero Remorse, you know, they played that a 4v5 and they still managed to pull out, you know, almost towards an overtime. And I think that goes to show like how strong they are as a team. And going into this next map of Control, I might be leaning towards the side of Zero Remorse if they have that 4-5 stack.
Absolutely. I mean, just in terms of how they're frying at the moment, and if they can play with the coordination that they did at the end of the HP to make that comeback, I think that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But the question is, do they have a full 5-stack or not? They do. Okay, so their player is back in. They have a 5-stack. It all is saved. I think that we're going to have a fantastic control on our hands here. And Slums, I mean, again, the 3-2 split, you're going to have to see how it plays out for a game mode like this. And I'm curious to see whether or not it's going to be chaotic gameplay or a game of TDM coming out of Zero there. Because if it is, they're going to be punished for it. But if they come out coordinated, play orthodox, get their fundamentals down, they're going to completely take over the map.
I hope so indeed, because it's fun seeing a little TDM here and there, but guys, play for the objective. Just play for the objective. I mean, we saw it in the previous game mode where the teams weren't necessarily playing for it as well. Not really the previous game mode, the previous match rather. And we saw how detrimental it could be to your team when you don't play for the points and when you don't play for the objective. And that's when, the teams like COS Esports started to realize that, and that's when it started playing into their favor. Even Rage at some point when they weren't playing for the objective and they had to switch their gameplay up to actually play for it, started playing into their favor. So I think, going into this next one, they have to play for that objective. They have to play for that, they have to play for those ticks. And if that's what works for them, it works for them. But yeah, I just want to see some clean COD gameplay, and I'm excited to see what comes from this next one.
Absolutely. And do we have an ETA on that, seeing as that we have load shedding on the horizon? Okay, we're waiting for 2 players to ready up, and then we'll be going straight into the control here. And from someone who hasn't been playing or is sort of new to the COD mobile scene, I'm curious to think what the chat feels on the competitive rule set compared to the CDL. I'm coming in as an outsider, obviously, and I'm curious as to why it is different. Do you think it needs to be different? Do you think that it should be this way, or do you think it should be uniform across the line? And I'm opening up to your comment as well.
My comment?
Yeah, what do you think?
Ooh, I don't know. Like, I really do feel that, we want to try stick to the competitive standard. We want to stick to one rule set, because I feel like if we have one rule set, everything in unison, everything points back to the same rule set, I think it's a lot more interesting across the board. Because if someone from Modern Warfare 2, the title of Modern Warfare 2 is coming to watch, and they want to witness some COD mobile gameplay, you want them to, understand the same fundamentals, same dynamics. Or let's say someone from CODM, maybe wants to play in Modern Warfare 2 professionally, or someone from Modern Warfare 2 wants to play professionally in COD mobile. I feel like it sort of should be in a way that, you don't want to come and it's sort of a whole different dynamic. I get that, it's different platforms, but I think it should sort of stay similar or the same in a way, because
within reason, yeah.
Yeah, as you mentioned, for the bomb to be only, for bomb to go down in 5 seconds, and then also being able to defuse in 5 seconds, I feel, it feels a bit weird about that, because a lot of the time, not just only in COD, in other titles as well, obviously the plant has a lesser time than the defuse, and the defuse is going to have a lot more time. So, seeing that being on the same playing field, it kind of, it's a bit weird for me about that one. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I sort of feel like it would be, in my opinion, a bit better to, try and, align with CDL. But again, I can't really make a case for that, as I'm not really, the biggest person in COD Mobile. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what's your thoughts on that.
Oh, it looks like Zahid left the game. I'm not sure if we've got some connection issues again, or we're going to have a reset. Hopefully not. Well, it looks like on the other side of things, it's going to be a 4 versus 5 on the side of EG here, where they have the disadvantage as they have lost a player early on, and I'm pretty sure the side of Zero is going to completely exploit that as they push on through right into the spawns of EG, and they're going to get the spawn trap developing here as they find the first 2 ticks. Or actually, no, they're on defense. They're going to be putting the attackers in the blender here and keeping them at the back of the map. And that is not the start that you want to see, as they have only lost 1 life, whereas a whole 10 have gone down for the side of EG, and it is not looking great as the blender speeding up with 25 seconds left, and they have to get onto the point.
Indeed, and now I think you're starting to see what it's like, you know, for the side of Zero Remorse to have that full 5 stack, and that's quite interesting. They're really shooting at each other, guys. Come on, get serious. But now it does seem like the side of EG are going to try and make that push on.
They're going to reset, I think.
Ooh, there might be a reset.
It's so hard to tell. It's really so hard to tell.
Yeah, I think they're going to continue on with it because I think they're just trying to diminish the lies. I'm not too sure what is going on because it does seem like they are continuing, and that is going to be a point on the side of Zero Remorse, and it does seem like it's going to continue.
Is it? Do we have? Can we get a confirmation, Reggie? What's happening? Okay, so the disconnect was after 30 seconds, so the continuation must happen. And here we go, Instinct and Sensei, Chaos lining them up and knocking them down as onto the point we go from the side of Zero Remorse. As remorsefully as little, they push on through, and they're going to look to put the defenders in the spawn trap and find these points as quickly as possible, as they already have a 4-point lead in terms of lives. Make it, or they continue it, but they're going to be able to find at least the very first tick over at A.
Indeed, now it does seem like they're at least working for that first tick on A, and now got it on B. Let's see if they are able to get yet another tick on that side of B as well. And it does look like they're at least coming out with a bit of a bang now in this next one, trying to get a point on the board for themselves now, almost getting that third tick on the B side now. So it doesn't seem like they're going to be contested on B, so they're going to get B free, and all they need to do is just capture A, and they've won this round. They already have the 1 tick thus far, and they do have the 3-man disadvantage, but they are not going to let them bother. They're not going to let them bother them, as they're going to make their way over to A, trying to get that tick to try and get the full capture of the zone. So let's see if they are able to do that now. The rotation will be coming through from the teams. We are seeing Sensei now trying to hold down the fort, as he is going to get traded out, and it is looking like the team of Zero Remorse are sort of holding back this push onto this next site.
I would actually disagree completely. It looks like it's the complete blender, as Diehard and Instinct are in the spawn getting these kills. They found a 10-kill advantage here. They're not even looking for the point, as they're just making it as chaotic as possible. Diehard, I'm pretty sure that's full streaks to the name, or at least one. As you can see, the side of Zero Remorse is just completely walking through EG here, completely and utterly. 1 respawn left. They just need to get 1 more kill, and that's going to be all she wrote. They go 2-0 up in this control. Yeah, that's exactly right. Chaos takes out Aegon, and now 2-0 up, 1 away from closing it out, and they're going to be back on defense. And as you know, if they get that spawn trap, that's going to be tough.
It's just really looking like a clean whitewash now. I mean, I think this goes to show what the side of Zero Remorse have to offer when they have that full 5. And I think we didn't really see too much of it in the beginning of the HP. We started seeing a lot more of what they were capable of towards the end of the HP. But then in that S&D, the fact that they were in a 4v5 disadvantage, but they played the way they did with only 4 men against 5, I think we're starting to see that domination come through in this control now, where they have the 5. Even though the team of EG are at that 4-man disadvantage, it's just going to show that the side of Zero Remorse really are a team to reckon with.
Absolutely, and I mean, as you can see, this is typical control gameplay. As I said, the 3 of the players from the side of Zero go down, and the life count completely swung in favor of EG here, as they have managed to find a good amount of time here on the point and a 5-kill advantage. But now they have to stay alive as the push is beginning to develop here. But we get to see a little bit of specialist usage, but you see Aiken Josh with some specialist of his own, as he simply breaks the point, gets all 4 of them down. And the site has been cleared. Life count down to a single one. Actually, all even. Seconds ticking away now. 40 left before that is going to be all she wrote. And you can see right through the right through the wall, Aiken Josh getting kills left, right, and center.
Okay, that was interesting. But anyways, Aiken just gonna try and hold this push now, as he does see some players gonna try and push in now. Just take down a few. He's gonna spray through the smoke and take down every single person. Gonna be spraying through, trying to get Steez as well. Steez, unfortunately, will take him down though. And now the side of EG are gonna make that entry onto the point, or not rather EG. The side of Zero Remorse now are going to make that rotation onto the point, and they're going to try to get that third tick, edging closer and closer, and they are going to be getting that third tick soon enough. And that is going to be confirmed now. All they need is that next tick as they're moving on to the next one, and just shots are going to be raining from the side of Instinct.
Well, 8-11 here. It looks like a life count back in favor for EG. Streaks are being used. Astros clearing them out in the back. But Aiken Josh just has to hold off these pushes a little bit longer. That was a bit of a wasted bit of specialist there. And if I was in the shoes of Zero Remorse now, I'd get Aiken Josh, go ahead, get those streaks in and clear these players out. It is not now or never. With just under a minute to work with, they can find it. They can get these kills. They can clear these players out. Instinct pushed up, trying to find a few more kills, but he's getting taken out. So 5 versus 9. You have to start using your utility a little bit more effectively, as if you are in the shoes of EG, you can just sort of slowly walk your way forwards, bleed that life count, and try to contest the point.
Indeed, now, as they're down to only 5 lives left, there's no room for error whatsoever for the side of Zero Remorse now. So, let's see what does come out from them. Now, shots will be flying. Unfortunately, Steves will go down. That's going to be 5-6 now. They only have 20 more seconds to get onto that point and contest it before they run out and lose this entirely. Now, Astros will try to make that push now as he does try to spot out some players. He is coming out with the Purifier. Unfortunately, isn't able to connect with anything. It's going to be 4v4. 6 seconds left for them to get onto that to contest. It's only 3 seconds left now. They need to get onto it now. 1 second left, and that is going to be... No, it's not.
1-0 contest. The contest.
It's going to be 3-3. It's going to be 3-2. It's going to be 2 versus 1. 1v1 situation.
Oh, Die Hard at the last second with a little bit of a snap from the Annihilator to close out the control of the 3-0. But I mean, that came down to the wire. Shows that both of these teams have capacity to do something amazing, even with a player down. Regardless, the round goes the way of Zero as well as the map. So they are currently 2-1 up in this first of 3.
Hey man, listen, I'm 3 steps to a heart attack right now. I can't deal with this anymore. This is just too much to deal with. The fact that went from 6-10 all the way to a 1v1 where there was 0 seconds left. They had to just immediately contest that, and it just went down to Die Hard being the last one standing. How ironic is that? But, oh my goodness, what have we just witnessed here? I mean, today, if you've been watching, you have to appreciate all of this action.
Yeah, there's no other way of putting it. This action, because it has been non-stop action the whole time. And our poor hearts, man, our poor voices after shouting about like this. But regardless, the advantage now in terms of map count going back in favor of EG. And they had the man advantage. Will the question be, will we have 2 players lag out, so it's going to be a 4v4? Or do we have an actual 5v5 lined up here in this HP, which I believe is on... Where are we going? Shoothouse? Okay, Shoothouse HP for our next one. And judging as to how well the side of Zero is frying up now in terms of shots, I think that it is potential for a 3-1 here. But having said that, there's also been some fantastic plays being shown by EG, so it's pretty much anyone's game at this point, if we're being honest.
Indeed, I don't think we can really call it definitively now. But as you mentioned, I just feel as if like Zero Remorse have just been putting in that work. They really have just fought tooth and nail to get to where they are. I mean, from the first one being almost 70 points down and still clutching it and making it a 250 to 249 HP win, that's insane. And then coming into the S&D, they lost it, but I mean, losing 7-5 with only 4 people on your side against a 5-man team. And, you know, that's something you need to take away and say, you know what, we tried our best and, you know, we pulled an amazing result from that. And now in this game number 3, where they claimed the control, controlled game control 3-0. I mean,
it's late. We tired. I get it. Don't stress.
It's a lot, man. I'm trying to like.
No, I get it. Don't worry. Yeah, I have the same feeling. It's like fried. It's like fried after these games because they've just been such nail biters. It really puts a toll. But regardless, we are here and we love the community and the gameplay. It's just stellar. It is the kind of COD that people love to watch, and I'm pretty sure we have that next game lining up very, very quickly here. As like we said, we're going over to Shoothouse. But again, how long are we talking, Reggie? Is everyone in? We're loading in, everybody. Potential last map on the horizon, but somebody wise once said, don't count your chickens before they hatch. As with the way these two teams have been playing, it is very possible that we'll be seeing a Game 5. Regardless, shoothouse we go as we jump on board with the boy Rogue, or Zaid, sorry, who was absent in the last game, but certainly has a presence when he's on the map.
Indeed, I mean, anytime Zaid has been on that receiving end, he's just been absolutely deleting anyone that has been in his way. So he's going to be a crucial person in this situation now for the side of EG. So let's see what does come out from them. Let's see if EG are able to make it 2-2 in this series now. It does seem like the side of EG do have the upper hand now, as they are going to be on point now, trying to claim it. But as I say that now, the tides have turned, and the side of Zero Remorse now have gotten to point, and they're the ones claiming the point. So it does seem like, coming right out the gates, it's sort of evenly matched. It does seem like both teams are trading blow for blow. So we'll have to see what does come out from both of these teams now, as the side of Zero Remorse are going to be the ones on point now, and both players going to be traded out in that instant now. Let's see what does come out from the teams, because it does seem the side of Zero Remorse are holding this point really, really well. It doesn't seem like they're heavily contested, and even if they are massive trades that are going to be coming out from either side.
Well, that was an excellent first HP from the side of Zero Remorse there, and the kills are working out to get the rotation in as well. They might have just done the perfect rotation as they find the scrap time, get the spawns for the next kill, as these guys are looking to chain together and make a statement here as the kill feed continues to shine blue. As Sensei is finding more, everyone is absolutely going off, flipped out the spawns, and they are continuing their lead and looking to do severe damage here, as only 9 seconds has been found by EG. The side of Zero is a force to be reckoned with here, as they are just doing so late, much work.
It's late.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I can't even wordsmith so good no more, man. Why say many word when few word do trick? Let's get it going.
Yes, that's what we would love to hear. But now, as I said, Astro is getting a 3-piece there. Beautiful gameplay coming from his side as well. Astro is going to be rummaging through every single person that comes through in his way. Unfortunately, will be taken down by Chaos. Chaos going to be the one to kill his momentum. Now, Chaos has been one that has been in many clutch situations. So let's see what does come from his side. He is sitting already on 6 kills at the moment. And right next to him is going to be the man Instinct, who also is on 6 kills, as well as a keen Josh. So let's see what does come out from these players. Unfortunately, as I say, that is going to get Kobe and going to get destroyed. But that happens.
Ain't nothing like a Kobe to end your momentum. As of right now, Instinct using a little bit of streaks to clear out a little bit more of the point. Chaos is finding kills up the top. But even though the rotations have been good, unlucky, that was a bit of a waste of the specialist there. Claw not being able to dig its claws into anyone, as it looks like the side of EG might have bullied their way into the point here. And I was going to say that this is looking like a carbon copy of how the first HP started, as it was an absolutely electric start from Zero. But again, a game of TDM is not going to win it for you. You guys have to play the point. Even though they get those rotations, they finally have a bit of time now, but they might get broken at the last second here, as they need to find a way of getting the most amount of time and kills, not just kills. But as of right now, 40 second lead is enough to cushion them as they go for the rotation, and they are there first. Will they be able to get set up and hold off the first set of pushes from EG is the question.
Alright, and now Zero Remorse have broken that 100-point mark, so let's see if they are able to hold out on this point now. Next has been revealed, so we will be seeing some rotations coming through from the teams. Already the side of Zero Remorse have made the rotation to next. Let's see if they are able to hold this next point. Now we will be seeing a rotation coming out from the side of EG. EG now taking down one player that was on that lurk. And now let's see if the entry is going to happen. Now Instinct going to be taken down now as he's trying to slide through. That's not how you be sliding in them DMs, because he's going to get taken out. And now, as the players are going to make that entry now, we will see some shots are going to be flying left, right, and center. Players are falling down. Sensei claiming multiple kills on his side. And now it looks like the side of Zero Remorse are looking very comfortable on this point.
Absolutely. They seem to have listened to me. They are no longer playing a game of TDM. They're playing a game of knock him up and punch him down, as they have found the first 40 seconds of this hill uncontested, as Aegon and Astros are trying to make something happen around the back as they get ready for the next set of rotations here. But regardless, the setup from the side of Zero just unmatched. They have almost 100 points between these two teams, and they are frying them in the back here. Instinct has that Annihilate in the back pocket, so there is one bit of a specialist usage available. And if they want to break this this hill, they'll be able to do so. Aiken Josh with a quick two-piece to simply break it himself, flip out the spawns. It doesn't matter. He can do it all. One-man army as he's finding the time, waiting for his teammates to get on close. Astros is there for the contest. He gets taken out, but it doesn't matter. We should be seeing the use of at least a little bit of streaks here or utility from Instinct as he is the man holding down the time, but is eventually cleared out. And for a few brief seconds, it appears that EG has found some time.
Indeed, and I was gonna mention that as Akin Josh was clutching it out, one of the players from the side of EG was just lurking in that corner, and I don't think he noticed that. And I think that was just the turning point, as once that player was taken down, that was sort of a flip in the switch for the side of EG now, and EG are going to be the ones that claim points, and now it's the side of Zero Remorse that have to try and play retake. So let's see what does come out from them now, as they will be trying to play retake. We're here with Sensei now. Let's see what is going to come out from the side of Sensei. Sensei going to try and go up top. Let's see if he does spot out the player. We'll take him down. Unfortunately, it's going to be a waste of that specialist. And now we're going to see Sensei up top. Let's see what else is going to come out from his side. We'll be holding up top to try to see if we can get anyone down. Unfortunately, he will not win that trade, as Steez will take him down, but Chaos is going to be there to cover him.
Well, we're going to our second set of rotations now. P1 about to unlock, and onto the point we go. It's going to be a 0 going huge as another 5 go down for the side of EG. Almost a 100-point club on the horizon here as everyone is jumping right, left, right, and center. Line them up, knock them down. Like I said, it seems like it is looking very good for the side of 0, but as I say that, it seems like a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a Titan toppler coming through from the side of EG as they break the point again for 5 seconds. As 0 simply bully their way back on through, and they're looking to get a rotation coming in here. Chaos at the back. Astros with a specialist in use, misses his shots, and that is going to be another bit of utility sort of squandered. And remember, Diehard has that one streak in the back pocket that will be crucial for this rotation. But if his teammates can win their ones, it doesn't need to be. Sensei goes big. It's left down to Mr. I believe that's Aegon, and I couldn't quite see who the last player was there. Astros potentially trying to hold down these rotations, but like I said, excellent stuff there. P1 to P2 is where you need to be writing things down if you are a team that is playing against the side of 0, as these rotations have been pretty much clinical.
Clinical indeed, and now we have to see what does come from the side of Zero Remorse now, as they are going to be on points. They are going to try and hold it as best as they can. We'll see the rotation come from the side of EG. They're going to come in as a unit, coming in unison. They're going to claim point now, and they're going to try and get some points on the board for themselves now. And they are going to be massively behind with regards to this point on the board, but let's see if they are able to close out that gap now. We're here with Zahid. He does have the specialist in hand, annihilating anyone that comes into his crosshair. Let's see if he's able to clutch out and take this one player down. Unfortunately, Diehard always wins in those situations, and now Diehard going to try and make that rotation onto site, and seems like there was a bit of technical difficulties on our side, and
game crash. So we won't know what the outcome of that map was. Does that mean that we have to replay it, or does the server die? Okay, well, a few things to talk about there. While we wait to see if we can get back in. From the side of 0, that was some clinical rotations. I mean, I was curious to see if Diehard was going to be able to find the 4th one off of the back of that 3-piece there. That would have been some pretty, like, it's noon kind of thing. That would have been crazy. But it would have been a nice little bit of a Twitter clip if those exist in CODM. But regardless, it was a good start there, and they looked like they were getting the rotation in, but it wasn't really anyone's game, as it seemed like for the last 30 seconds or so, EG managed to claw their way back into that game. And I'm not sure if we're loading in. We might be. We are indeed. But we are in free cam. Free cam? No.
No. We are with the specialist. Let's go.
Okay, sweet. So we're straight back into the game, and regardless, it looks like it's going to be 196 to 160 as the last little bit of time here. Eclipsing 0 over the 200-point mark will be going their way. Rotation is in, and they could not have been a better bit of streak utility. All 5 of them go down. EG simply bullied out of the next point, and here we go. Rotation is in, and of course it is going to be 0 up and ready on the point, ready to find the first bit of time.
Indeed, now the side of 0 are going to try play for next, but it does seem the side of EG are going to try and hold out on it, but it doesn't seem like it'll work to their favor. But as I say, that Aegon going to get a massive kill with that Annihilator now, and it does seem like the side of EG now are going to be on point. They're going to try and hold out
I believe it's going to be me for now, as unfortunately Skara has been taken out by our good friends over at Eskom, as they have an amazing ability of helping everyone out in the country. And as I say that, it looks like Sensei has also just been clapped by some load shedding, as that is not what you want to see, as we have 206 to 197. EG beginning to mount a bit of a comeback here as they're flying forwards. But as I say that, Zero breaking to the point. Now only 20 seconds or so away from the W. But of course, Astros with that Annihilator in hand, he might be able to get a few more kills. He doesn't even need it. He's getting the kills left, right, and center. Rotation is in. It is down to Instinct to win his one, to clear the point, but he doesn't need to. Chaos is there to help him out, as the time will be going their way for now. Trophies are in. Utility has been used. Chaos trying to close it out. 4 versus 5. It is a bit of a mountain to climb, but it doesn't matter. His teammates are there to help him out. Aiken Josh getting more and more kills. It is going to be streaks, and Specialist being used as Steez gets a huge double to secure them in there, and they might not be, they cannot win here anymore, to be clear, but they can still make it messy as Instinct and Aiken Josh go back to back to back, unable to break the point though, as they have to wait for a little bit of teammate assistance here. But in the back, it was Aiken Josh with a few more pieces, and here comes Instinct from the front. Another 2-piece for him. Looking to clear the point here. They are unable to win it, but they can make it a very, very close. If they break it in there, that's exactly right. So 15 seconds. It's just everything thrown at this last point now. Lead secured for EG. They might be able to put it within 20 points. That's exactly right. Die Hard actually going to say not today. He'll be putting it within 25 seconds for himself. Rotation is in. On to the next point we go. It is going to be Chaos and Aiken Josh holding down for now. They have to stay alive for the time being, but it's going to be streaks that will clear them out for the time being. More specialists for Zaid, but unable to actually connect with anything, so that's going to be a no real usage there. But Aiken Josh is going to have a bit of, or actually Diode has a specialist in the back pocket for himself if he can clear out this point. Only 19 seconds needed now. 4 versus 5. It is not out of the woods for the side of EG here. They can make it happen, but it is going to be difficult. Diehard finding one. Aiken Josh finding another. Looking for the trades. He has to find the man in the point. There is only 9 seconds. He gets the shots. He is there. He needs to pop a specialist or something. No one is close. They have to get it to the point. Chaos has to get down. It's shots left, right, and center. Only 8 seconds. It's going to be Steez and Co trying to get close to the point. 18 seconds for the side of Zero that has to hold it in, and it's going to be Aiken Josh who goes huge for his team. Only 12 seconds needed now. They can no longer win it here. They have to get the rotation. They need streaks. They need something. 4 versus 5. 8 to 8. It's looking like it's going to be a 250 or 249 to 250 finish if they cannot break this hill. This hill has to be perfect. Streaks are going to be used. Here we go. First shot is in, but he is unable to clutch it up. Chaos trying to make more happen. It's going to be not possible as it pops. Here we go, pushing onto the point. Die Hard has to get close. They have to get in. No one is close enough. Even in the 4 versus 5, they were not able to do it. It's going to be EG that clutch up in the end. 250 to 248. Off of the back of the 5th player, or 6th player, Eskom, taking out Sensei. And you hate to see that. You hate to see a team losing a player. Either side, regardless, it is going to be going to a game 5, which is S&D on. Slums S&D, everybody. Well, it looks like it is going to be a bit of a solo cast from now out. Sorry for everybody watching. I know we all love Skara and Scout. No, Scout has been broken up and is now simply Trout, as like I said, Eskom is our best friend in esports. Regardless, we have one more map to come up at the very least, as it is currently 2 apiece, as the side of EG answered back there off of the back of an unfortunate lag out. 4 versus 5. Regardless, we have to see if Sensei has mobile data, potentially able to get back into the game, playing off of that. I just really have no idea of knowing. We just have to get that map set up, and it is late. 10 past 10. We have been streaming for a total of 3 hours. Man, oh man, it has been an absolute grinder. Wow, I can't even wait for Scar to pick up there. I have to keep talking. How are we looking, Reggie, in terms of the lobby loading up? Okay, well, we are waiting for one player. That being Sensei, if he can't join, like you said, it's going to be a 4 versus 5. How long is the wait time, the turnaround? 5 minutes. Okay, maybe he has data, maybe he doesn't. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, off the back of that HP, it was great from both sides there. They showed a bit of tenacity, and it came down to the wire, 242 to 250. It's a pretty close game of HP, so both teams really trying to fight it out to the bitter end, and that's exactly what this is, the bitter end of the first to 7 S&D. Okay, guys, we're going to have a quick intermission, and when we come back, we'll be going straight into the gameplay.
My name is Fayad Kesam. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Joburg. So now we can go into the competitive scene and have no excuses because it's just a smooth game with servers brought into the country.
Signaling the start of our next game.
Hey guys, I'm Lucy. I'm one of the co-founders for Carry First, and we're here at the Ivyson Gaming Tournament celebrating Call of Duty mobile activation in South Africa. So we started Carry First 4 years ago because we saw that mobile gaming was massive everywhere in the world, and that we thought mobile gaming would be sort of the best suited way to build a large, meaningful company across Africa. You have like the youngest population in the world, it's fast growing, it's dynamic, it wins in every other cultural sector, whether that's music, art, entertainment, sports, and gaming should be no different. And we thought, this was the time to bring and catalyze mobile gaming across Africa.
That has been round one, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be shortly with you. Round two coming up.
All right, everybody, we're straight back into the gameplay now with the last 2 seconds. S&D. We did manage to get Sensei back in the lobby. He seems to have found some data or something along those lines. Maybe he has a little bit of a UPS to keep him in the game. Regardless, over towards B we go. Everyone flying as quickly as possible. Will they be able to get the first picks? It's going to be Astros who answers up with a quick two-piece. And it's going to be an immediate advantage as 2 players are left for the side of 0 and a whole 3 for EG. A bomb has snaked its way over towards B, and they will be able to get it down here. Exactly right. Bomb is now down. The retake has to come on through for the side of EG, and of course, not EG, excuse me, for the side of 0, and it's going to be Sensei to find the pick. He gets taken out though, so 1 versus 2 for Instinct with a bit of a sniper in hand here. Slowly trying to see if he can find something. He sees Mr. Astros. He misses his shot, but he picks up something else. Oh my word, Astros with a quick turn and burn taking him out, and it's going to be the side of EG who find the first round.
Spotted. Enemy has dropped the bomb.
So it seems like this is going to be a grinder, as it went all the way to a 1 versus 2. as Astros is flying on forwards once more to see if he can find a pick of his own, but he's unable to do so. As a change of pace, it's going to be Chaos who finds a two-piece of his own, looking for a few more kills, but Zaid manages to find AK Josh, but Diehard trades him out, so it's going to be a 2 versus 4, as the bomb should be going down as we speak, and not quite, actually, as it is not opted to be put down yet. It's towards B. Steez in the mid-map gets taken out. All of a sudden, it's going to be Aegon left in a 1 versus 3. Make it a 0 versus 3 as Diehard takes him out. And just as quickly as the round started, it has ended off of the back of a TDM.
Bomb spotted. Enemy has dropped the bomb. Destroy the objective. We got the bomb.
Going into round number 3 now. Round number 3 with the first set of trades coming through. Chaos coming out on top. 4 versus 4. Bomb is yet to go down as we work our way on forwards. It has been completely cleared. Sensei in the back. He might be able to make something happen here as he is just trying to get shots, but he isn't able to land any of them as Zahid takes him out with a nice little bit of a sniper shot there. And Aegon gets aggressive, finding another kill of his own there. They will be able to get the bomb down now. 2 versus 4 as Instinct might be able to get a deny. Not quite, as the bomb has been planted. Now Aiken Josh in the back trying to make it happen. He makes it a 2 versus 3. He looks for the second, can't quite snap, as it is going to be Mr. Instinct left in a 1 versus 2. Make it a 0 versus 2 as Rogue sniffs him out and takes him out, and the lead back in favor of EG 2-1.
Bomb spotted. Enemy has dropped the bomb. Destroy the objective. Bomb acquired.
Round number 4 we go. Again, it seems like B is where they go to die, or at least try to find as many quick kills as possible as they try to keep these players off of the point. Shots rain out across the map, and the first player to fall was going to be, if I can actually read that name, not quite, I believe it was Steez. Yes, Steez is the first to go down. Life count advantage now for the side of 0, as they're just trying to keep these players off of the bomb sites to the best of their ability. And of course, Aiken Josh pushed up here, waiting to see if anyone will push through the mid-map. And as of right now, that is what's going to happen. It's going to be Astros who finds 1, Astros who finds 2, and that will bust B right open. They'll be able to get this bomb down as we speak, making it a 3 versus 3 as Diehard finds Rogue on the other end of the map. Well, Zahid takes out Chaos, 2 versus 3, bomb now down. Diehard trying to be the man to make the clutch. He sees Aegon, isn't able to get the snap, but Sensei is on the other end taking out Zahid. 1 versus 2 now, as we will see a retake attempt here from Sensei as he finds a quick 2-piece to take them both out. I don't know how he did that. I didn't see the second kill. Regardless, the defuse will coming through because it is a 4-second defuse, which is even crazier to me than the fact that the defuse is faster than the plant. But regardless, we are here as a nice little bit of a 1 versus 2 clutch from Sensei. Places 0 back at even Stevens.
Defend the objective. The enemy has the bomb.
Battle returning over towards B once more, or rather the mid-map, not necessarily just B, as we wait for these teams to go head-to-head. Of course, it's going to be Chaos pushed up first to see if he can find a 2-piece like he did off of the back of round number 2. As of right now, not quite. As I'm not entirely sure what's happening on with Steez's hands. He seems to have grown another one as he finds Instinct there, holding that stun. Crazy. Okay, that seems to have fixed it there. Regardless, it is going to be a quick 1-on-1 trade. The bomb is yet to go down, though, as Diehard takes out Steez and gives his team a little bit of a cushion in terms of life count. Well, the cushion was there for a mere moment, but he is taken out. Sensei is there for the quick trade. Aiken Josh finds another, leaving Zahid in a 1 versus 3. The bomb now placed. He has to go find it and get it down with just over a minute to work with. It is going to be a tough one. Slowly working his way on through to see if he can find some information around the back, maybe pick up that bomb, get it down as quickly as possible. But again, 47 seconds, they know where he is now. They will be able to challenge him, but not singly. They will wait for a bit of an opening to see if they can get effective trading, because if you tell anyone that is on their own, it is not ideal. But like I said, the bomb is down on the other end of the planet, just about Narnia, if we're being honest, so he has to go and find it before making it happen. Chaos in the corner here. Will he see him? The answer is no, as Zahid makes it a 1 versus 2, but with 24 seconds, all you have to do if you're in the shoes of Zero is not allow him to pick up this bomb and plant it, because if he does, it's going to be a 1 versus 4, and no one wants to see that. But here comes the pinch. It's bomb going to be picked up, and it should be going down. But that'll open up the timing for Sensei to find this pick after the plant. That's exactly right. The kill's going to come through, defuse immediately. Zero take the lead, 3-2.
Bomb defused. Nice work. Get ready for the next round.
I believe this is going to be the last round of defense for Zero, as we will be seeing the switch after round number 6. It really feels like COD Mobile attempted to replicate S&D very similarly to that of Counter-Strike, or the typical several rounds to go attack, several rounds to go defense, and then overtime win by 2, which is a respectable, not what I'm used to, but regardless, we are here. Steez finding that first pick. Chaos bites the dust. Diehard and Sensei go back to back, making it a 2 versus 3, as they are simply walking over the side. In the interim, the bomb has gone down, and as I say that, Ake and Josh and Diehard find the remaining 2 players, and the defuse will be nothing but a walk in the park, as Zero are now in control, 4-2, only 3 rounds away from closing out this S&D. And that is exactly right. The switch has come through. Zero now on attack to see if they can get that bomb down. And if any of the previous S&Ds that we've cast tonight are anything to go off of, it appears that defense is heavily, heavily favored in this game. And as you see, Nays, utility, you name it, smokes being thrown to see if they can get over towards B as quickly as possible. And it might have, towards A, and it might have just worked, as it is just Zahid last alive to get in here. Zahid gets taken out instinct with the first blood. So it's looking like the bomb will be going down as we speak. The plant should be coming through. That's right now. A 45-second retake needed for the side of EG, but they are losing players left, right, and center. It is only Rogue and Steez who managed to take out Sensei and Aegon on the other end, making it a 3 versus 3. The retake is potentially in the works here, but as I say that, it's going to be Steez who takes out, or was taken out by Diehard. Now it is a 2 versus 3, making it a 2 versus 2 as Rogue takes out Diehard himself. As the trades are just coming together. But as I say that, it's going to be a Mr. Ake and Josh left in a 1 versus 2. And he has to find the timing onto Aegon. He just has to play here. 4-second defuse. Do not get overzealous. Do not chow. But he gets around the back. He makes a quick play. Gets the kill. And just like that, it is going to be the side of Zero taking the lead. 5-2. Showing that they can win offensive rounds as well. Looks like if it ain't broke, why fix it, as we go back over towards A, where the side of Zero has shown a little bit of success. They're trying to replicate it here, but as is typically the case, it's going to be Aegon who finds a quick 2-piece before getting traded. Astro's finding another one. Ake and Josh now taking a number 2 versus 3, as things are not entirely working out for the side of for the side of Zero. As I say, that Diehard simply turns the tide himself as he finds a quick 2-piece. Rogue looking to find Sensei, but Sensei finds him first. Will the bomb be going down? Here comes the Chell. Rogue trying to get away with his life, but not able to do so, as Diehard and Sensei, the dynamic duo, placed themselves on map point and series point, 1 round away from closing out this game 3-2. And as per usual, Sensei and Diehard, I was not going to say as per usual, it seems as though Diehard has picked up where Chaos left off in the first S&D and has found his rhythm, picking up 13 whole kills. And towards A we go. Oh, of course, it is going to be some nice shots there from Instinct as he gets a quick pick, taking out Mr. Steez. Again, life advantage is there, but the trade is immediate. Sensei taken out 4 versus 4. Bomb is in the hands of Diehard, and he is trying to work his way over towards A, but it's going to be Rogue who takes out another player there, if I'm not mistaken. Well, not quite. It's still a 4-on-4 as the rotation over towards B is the call. Ake and Josh taking out Rogue. Now making it a 4 versus 3. Only 3 players and a bomb are between this victory of the side of 0 here. Here come the picks. Astros with 1, looking for the second. 3 versus 3. Well, Ake and Josh says Aegon take a number. 3 versus 2, life count back in their favor. Through the mid-map we go. Instinct finding another. It's going to be Astros left in a 1 versus 3. The bomb will be going down as we speak. It has been planted on A. So now the retake has to be perfect. Not quite. It is going to be the shots are there. And just like that, it is going to be 0 who close it out. 7-2. Game 5 is where we ended. And it was finally closed out by the side of Zero Remorse, showing that they have very little remorse, completely taking over there. Crazy, crazy stuff. GG's to the side of Zero Remorse there, as they were absolutely the dominant side in this S&D, and unfortunately they lost a player in that HP where the things didn't quite go out there the way they wanted, but regardless, that is the way the cookie crumbles. So we have seen 2 absolute grinders of S&D, not S&D, well, also S&D, of Call of Duty Mobile here for you guys. It has been a fantastic evening. Both games were pretty much perfect card. The 249 comeback, well, 180 to 249 comeback, crazy stuff there from these 2 teams. That was a great way to start the series. And of course, on the other end, with regard to Cast Esports and the side of Rage Esports, that was a fantastic nail biter in itself. So it has been good quality Call of Duty Mobile here, as all these teams here are really trying to make a name for themselves, and they are doing a fine job at that. But regardless, I am completely spent, and I'm pretty sure you guys as well. It is late, 10:30. And yeah, that is going to be all she wrote for the production. So thank you very much, ACGL, for having me, as well as the Carry Light for hosting this amazing Sub-Saharan African Championship for COD Mobile. And we'll be seeing you very soon as Saturdays, I believe. So catch you in a little bit.